Up, everybody? It is your girl, Jab Queen Boxing, and we are back. We are ready. We are live. Today, y'all, oh my God, we got a lot going on in the world of boxing. And so we just gonna get right into it because it is fight night and I don't want to hold y'all any longer than I have to. But we got a few things that happened this week that I wanted to go over. First of all, shout out to Lomachenko. He has completely decided to enter the witness protection program. So shout out to him. You know what I mean? He realized that these young bucks ain't what he want. He does not want to have to face a Muratalla. He don't want to have to face a Gervonta Tank Davis. So shout out to him and Top Rank. They done completely put him in the witness protection program, child. So a round of applause for Lomachenko. Okay. We got some real messy shit going on with Teofimo and Devin. We got Keyshawn missing weight. These boxers done lost their damn mind. But don't worry, we're going to get them all together. So first up, I'm going to play something, and then we're going to come back and talk about it, because I believe I did a video on it, but I feel like, we really need to address this, because I do see a lot of this going on, and I just want to make sure that we provide context to this, and we're still supporting our fighters, even when they don't look their best in the ring. Okay.
Boxing is the only sport that if you lose, a motherfucker act like it's over with. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you done. Like, how the fuck am I done? I lost one fight. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like let's be real. I feel like a lot of that comes when it comes to black fighters. We lose a fight, it's over with. It's a lot of fighters who may lose or something like that, and they people still gonna back them. They're going to still have their supporters, and they're going to still have people who back them. But a lot of times, like our own people, we lose a fight, they're going to talk shit. It's over with. They're going to do all that. But, a loss is not detrimental to a motherfucker like me career.
I know that's right, Frank. And I agree with him. A lot of this happened, like I said before, I blame all of this on Money Mayweather. And I don't want to do that because he's given us a lot in his career. But let's be honest, these kids, they grew up watching Money Mayweather, so they just assume that you're supposed to go undefeated in your career. Well, that's, Mayweather was an anomaly. Everyone's not going to go undefeated. One of the faces of boxing right now today, Chucky, he has about 2 or 3 losses on his belt, but he is the face of boxing. You know what I mean? So we don't want to throw these fighters away just because they take one loss. And I do believe that it is us, a lot of us. You know what I mean? I don't see this throughout other communities. Lomachenko, you know what I'm saying? Like I just said, Canelo, things like that don't really happen to other demographics. It's us tearing down our own fighters, and we really need to check ourselves, because if they take a loss to another elite boxer, you cannot say they're a bum. You can't throw them away. Now, if they out here just losing to tomato cans, gone and sat down, you know what I mean? Go try and find you another line of work, be a crossing guard. I don't know. But for the guys who are really getting in there, facing tough competition and continuing to persevere, then I think we should definitely support them and make them feel welcome back into the sport. Now, my next question is, what would be next for Frank when he comes back? You know what I mean? Who should we line him up with as a really good comeback fight? And I'm going to open the panel later. Y'all can come up and tell me who y'all think would help him look his best as a comeback fight. Almost how we just did Charlo. You know what I mean? Still get you some work in, but, help you gain your confidence back in that ring. Help you shake some of that ring rust off, because he too has been out of the ring since Tank put his lights out. You know what I mean? So he's coming back. He's coming back strong. He's coming back at 140, and I can see a couple of good fights for him. Maybe a Richardson Hitchens or a Keyshawn, now that he can't make weight. We'll get to him. We are going to deal with Keyshawn. But maybe Keyshawn Davis, since he can't make weight. Who else may be a good fight for him? Maybe Devin Haney. You know what I mean? All these guys would be really good matchups for him to come back as a comeback fight. I don't feel he's done. He took one loss to the face of boxing. Hell, he got in there with them. A lot of these guys running around here talking about they want to fight Tank and still ain't got their ass in there with him. So kudos to Frank for that. I still think he is a formidable opponent, and I still think that at the 140 division, he can make a splash, even make some noise. So I am excited to see him come back. I am excited to see who he matches himself up with, and to see, what he can do at 140 and above. You know what I mean? I don't think we should be throwing any of these boxers away based on one performance, because I don't think that's fair, especially if they've given us, top-notch performances before that are even okay, and then they decided to challenge themselves, and hell, shit just didn't work out the way that we thought it would work out for them. That's not, I don't consider them not to be a good fighter anymore if they lose one time. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's bogus if we're out here doing that. In the words of Roger Mayweather, you don't know shit about boxing. You know what I'm saying? If you're throwing a fighter away after one performance that just was not to your liking, you're not going to be able to whoop everybody. You know what I mean? So that's what I had to say about Frank. I just thought that was very interesting, that he took that stance on it, because I actually agree with him. Sometimes it is us that does that. You know what I mean? But we can dive a little bit more into Frank in a bit, but I really want to go here. All week with they drama, all damn week with they nonsense. Are y'all fighting or not? That's where I'm at with it right now. If you're not fighting, go sit down some damn where and shut up. Now, I was going to leave these two fools alone because I have bigger fish to fry. However, I happen to be somewhere minding other people's business like I tend to do sometimes, and I heard something that I found extremely interesting. This is what Teofimo had to say while he was on Spaces. I think it was last night, yesterday, one of them.
And I don't believe that Haney's, truthfully, I don't think that they even deserve the acknowledgement to come back like this. I don't. After a shit performance like that, get a good win and let's stir it up. But there is no reason for me to go all the way across the Middle East. And I think that is poor for everybody else that we built this fight in the U.S.
Yep.
As a business analyst on that part, look, I only have promotional fees to pay Top Rank, but I could go anywhere, wherever. You guys could possibly see me and Tank fight. You guys could possibly see me and Boots fight. You guys could possibly see other fights in line that could be made. Rather than, what would you guys rather have me see? What would you rather want to see? Look, of course, I've been working nonstop on how to cut the ring off. Barboza tried to move, and we cut the ring off. We successfully did that. And we won the fight unanimously. So I don't have no issue with the whole situation. However, I don't believe that this move was for the takeover. I believe it was mainly for the Haneys. They published it while I was reading the contracts. That right there already gave me a red flag. This is all in cahoots for the media to promote Haney because they had a shit performance. I just looked at it as a setup.
Fact.
That's all it is.
Especially
I looked at it
if
as
you
a
go to
setup.
Saudi, I feel like they would have robbed you over there too, man.
I believe that
The
as
Haneys
well.
are Muslim. Look. I don't got could use that for the Haneys.
Yeah, that's true.
No, think about it. Like, I just want you to clear out. Like, why would I duck a guy that doesn't punch? Okay, that is literally shot, PTSD from all that. I just looked at it as a setup. Now, this is freedom of speech, and my speech of that is this. That my speech on this is this: that the Haneys may have a lot of their hands in the pockets of the media, so it doesn't do any justice for me at the moment. Let them simmer. They don't have anybody else. Name me another fighter that you guys would want to watch him fight. Name me one. The Haneys, when I lost to Cambosis, it was Bill Haney and Devin Haney hugging each other, going up and down, celebrating because they didn't have to face me no more. And
I think we've heard quite enough of Teofimo Lopez. I have any damn way. So I started thinking, whose resume is better between these two? Because he run around here like he's some damn world beater or something, right? So let's try and break this down. Devin holds a record of, 32-0 with the asterisk by that O. I'm putting an asterisk by that damn O. 15 knockouts, right? with names like Linares, who already had like 3 or 4 losses before fighting Devin. And actually, I don't even think Linares has won a fight since. He fought Jojo Diaz, who actually lost to Gary Russell before losing to Devin. We know he beat Kambosos twice, Loma, Regis, and we also, like I said, what happened with Ryan, right? Okay. Teo has a record of 22-1, I believe, 13 KOs. His win over Loma in 2020, that's basically what I feel kind of really sparked his buzz, right? But then he lost it to Kambosos, who, in my opinion, had no damn business with those belts. He had no business losing to Kambosos, right? Then he fought, who was it? Josh Taylor, Ortiz, Claggett, whatever. Bottom line is this. Neither of them are in a position, in my opinion, to be snubbing their nose at each other. Because as it stands, both of them sort of need each other in this moment, right? They need some sort of marquee name, since Devin want to act like the Ryan fight didn't happen. Okay, so put a name then on your resume, a big name, right? At this point in your career. Both of their last performances weren't that great. You know what I mean? And we know that inactivity is a killer. Now, they did just fight, what was that? March 1st, whatever. March 2nd, one of them damn days. May 2nd on the Fatal Fury card, right? Now, we've been doing this Teo and Devin dance since they was at 135, right? In my opinion, they were kind of both ducking each other, right? Most recently, I just played the clip. He's stating, why should he fight him? And then you see the post that he made. He's stepping it back for personal reasons. All of this foolishness, right? He thought he would get robbed if he fought him in Saudi Arabia. Bill comes out with his nonsense, stating that Devin only wants to fight the best. And since Teo ducked him, they're moving down the line. It's a whole bunch of foolishness. In my opinion, they both need to fight either each other or find some damn body. I don't know why they never fought at 135, if I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? There was a perfect opportunity for them to fight. Both of them running around here like they really running something, and they are not. Okay? The best option for them at this particular time, would have been each other. Because now, Devin, you have to go and start stalking somebody else. Teo, you need to figure out what you're going to do with that contract. He said he only owes them sanctioning body fees, I believe he said, but he can fight anybody that he wants. Well, you have to find somebody who wants to fight you. And then guess what? You have to find somebody who's going to pay for that damn fight. That's it. We know that DHP ain't going to pay for it. They'll slap their name on a banner, but I can't remember any single fight that they have actually completely paid for. So, again, you can find an opponent, but who the hell is going to pay for it? If you're not rocking with Turkey Al-Sheikh, Teo, you say you only owe top-ranked sanctioning body fees, who is putting on your next fight? Who? So, again, I think they're both playing games. I think both of the fathers need to go sit down some damn where and do something better with their time, like be a grandfather or something. It's really starting to annoy me, this back and forth with them two. Put up or glove up or shut up at this point. That's it. You know what I mean? Moving on further down the week, we saw the press conference with Abdullah Mason and Keyshawn Davis. I did not like the interaction between the two. I said, in my opinion, I thought Abdullah's response could have been better initially in that moment, only because we all know that boxing, it's mental warfare as well, as well as physical. So you got to get in a nigga's head before you ever get in there in a ring with him. Just the same way Tank did with Frank, Tank did with Rolly. Tank, you know what I'm saying? It's all a mental game. It's all moving chess pieces on the board. So just in that instance, I really just didn't like his response. Now, I get it. He is young and he probably does not have a lot of experience in those type of situations. But to me, You can't go on Sean Zettel 3 days prior and say that you out here looking for all the smoke. Then when a nigga start a fire, you start running in the other direction. Not saying that he physically ran. It's just his response just didn't seem assertive to me. So I just would have liked to, I just would have liked for him to be just a little bit more assertive in his response. But that's neither here nor there, because at the end of the day, apparently he's getting the last damn laugh, because Abdullah, in my opinion, is being fast tracked to a champion. We all saw what happened at the weigh-in with Keyshawn missing weight. So they have bumped Abdullah up to the main event, as they should. I feel that maybe sometimes you can't wait for people to become ready, because they may be ready, just don't have the confidence in themselves to show that they're ready. And I think that Abdullah will do great. I mean, luckily he saved the damn card. I mean, Keyshawn's brothers will still be on the undercard. Calvin is still going to face Nair Albright. They both made weight. Abdullah, obviously, and Nakatila, they both made weight. It just seems to be the businessman who ain't handling his damn business, man. So that brings us to this guy, Keyshawn, missing weight, which is disgusting. I am going to drop the link because I want to know how many other people are completely disgusted with this young man. And if I'm being honest, I don't know if this was done strategically, although I can bet that it is. It probably has been done strategically, and that's because I don't want to blame anybody. So I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna say, however, it's the whole team over there, but no one else obviously has missed weight and so on and so forth. But I just think that was extremely unprofessional of Keyshawn, and I'm not sure why he has decided to move up just now. Although I do know,
And
he did say that he was having a hard time making the weight, but he's known that for a while. If you go back to when he fought Barenchik, even though he made weight, Keyshawn didn't look that healthy to me. Like, if you look underneath their eyes, he really didn't look that healthy to me. So that's the reason that I'm saying that he's been struggling to make that weight for quite some time. He also cut his hair, which I feel like was a part of that reason that he was struggling to make weight. What's up, Marky Dan? What's up, Dre? How y'all doing?
Oh, we doing good, dude.
What's up?
What's
good?
going on?
What's
What y'all got on it? What did y'all want to comment on first? Because we are going to get a little bit more into Keyshawn. I'm a little annoyed with him, if I'm being honest. But what's up?
Well, we're gonna double back on that To Dev situation, but on this one specifically,
Okay.
on this situation, Keyshawn Davis is a fucking punk. I'm never going to take nothing he says as factual ever again.
You're gonna have to
Not
get
not
some
until
detail on that. You're gonna have to get some detail on
I'm
that.
about
That
to.
was very colorful.
I'm about to. I'm about to. He's a goddamn punk because yesterday or excuse me, the day before yesterday when we was on Dub's stream, I said it, bro. Like, Keyshawn Davis restored my faith in boxing. I really thought that this Abdullah fight was gonna happen next. I did not think that this was gonna be another Brian Norman Boots or another Shakur Devin or another Tank Devin where we get all hyped up and then it's just smoke. Or the first half of the Bud Crawford Errol Spence negotiations. I really thought that he was serious. This man, it's no way. You 4 pounds overweight. You knew you were not gonna be staying at 135. So you were just talking. You just talking. You're a fucking goofy ass nigga like that Puerto Rican you call your brother over there. Shakar. Couple of
Marky
goofy
Dan, let me
ass
tell y'all what going on.
nah. Bud Crawford, the guy they like to say, oh yeah, that's big bro right there. That's my idol. Man, Bud Crawford ain't never missed weight. And there was a lot of fights but that people were saying Bud Crawford was too big for 135 or when he was at 140. That man always came in and made weight. This dude calls himself the businessman, Ty. He called himself the businessman.
Yeah, I want to kind of.
What's the difference between Keyshawn Davis and David Benavidez? What's the
So I
difference?
want. What's the difference, Marky? Because clearly you have a point you're trying to make, baby. Go ahead.
Well, yeah. I'm just taking off. Nah, Benavidez been suspended for doing drugs and for missing and was stripped for missing weight. There's no difference between these two people. Keyshawn Davis is a goddamn goofy ass nigga. I'm never gonna take nothing he says at his word. I'm gonna need to see some paperwork, or excuse me, I'm gonna need to see press conferences scheduled before I ever take anything he says at his word. He's a fucking punk. Go ahead.
Oh man,
Big
so I have
Dre, I'm about to
to.
say how you gonna follow that, but go ahead.
I'm about to say I won't follow that. You know, but what I got to say is Keyshawn took all of his credibility, his swag, and his public, persona, balled it up, lit it on fire, and threw it out the fucking window. Excuse me, and threw it out the window. It was not. It was that was. I mean, that was, excuse my expression, a bitch move. It reminded me of a song I used to hear. We used to talk about, but Keyshawn got a little bit of bitch in him, a bitch in him. Yeah. He It was a bitch move. He had to be 7 pounds overweight Thursday at the press conference. Talking all of that smack, talking all of that smoke, talking like like he a 10,000 pound press.
Yeah, so I just want to provide just a little bit more context because Marky Dan, he really just threw me. So Edwin De Los
I'm gonna
Santos
speak them facts, sis. You know, I'm gonna
is
speak them facts.
reported is reported to have received his full purse. So I wanted to shout out Top Rank for keeping it G. You know what I'm saying, and standing on their business for compensating that man. But there is a lot to be said about Keyshawn Davis and not making weight. So I will say this, right? I do feel that he did that on purpose because you just fought Barenchek. What was that? 6 months ago, 7 months ago? I don't even think it's been a full year, right? At that particular weight class. So I'm not exactly sure how it was you couldn't make weight and a man coming off of a 1.5 year layoff could. So that's just a little odd to me. So that's just one thing I wanted to point out. Now, I'm not sure if he was expecting Edwin De Los Santos to just say the hell with it because he hasn't gotten paid in some time because he's been out due to medical issues and just take the money anyway. So the disrespect aspect to me was kind of a little too much. So I'm glad Edwin De Los Santos decided to keep it professional and say, no, you missed weight, so therefore we're not going to fight. You know what I mean? So I think that is exactly what he should have done. And perhaps maybe in this case, that is what Devin should have done when it came to Ryan. But he did not. He decided to take the money instead of worrying about his conditioning or whatever the case may be. But I just wanted to point that out, that Edwin De Los Santos was able to make weight after coming off a 1.5 year layoff, and Keyshawn just fought less than a year ago, and he was unable to make the weight, which tells me that he has been struggling with this particular issue for quite some time and should have perhaps been moved up. Now, he had all of the advantages in the world. He was the A side. It was a hometown fight. And then on top of that, you want to add 4.3 more pounds or however many more pounds it was. So, that's just where I sit with all of that. And yes, L Dub, we can provide smoke to whoever misses weight. I definitely have no problem with that. Justin Polito, if he missed weight, then we'll get on his ass too. I think it's unprofessional, whoever does it. I'm not picking sides. I'm not trying to pick on Keyshawn Davis, but he did miss weight in his first title defense. So we have to call a spade a
Man,
spade.
pick on that nigga.
No, I'm not going to pick on him because I feel like that's bullying. But what I am going to do is lay out the facts and speak the truth. And the fact of the matter is, he missed weight after fighting only 7 months ago or 8 months ago, however many months ago, versus a man who's coming off the couch after a year and a half of being goddamn sick and in the hospital. So there is no excuse for him. I will not be providing one for him. I will not be glazing him, and I will not be treating him like he's a child. He is a grown man. This was his very first title defense, and he dropped the ball. Period. Full stop.
Amen.
Now,
Amen.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
what's? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Excuse me, but I'm driving, so I dropped out a little bit ago.
Oh no, that's
And
okay. Go ahead. What were you
I
gonna say?
I know I was in the middle of a rant, but like I said, he took all of his credibility, you know, all of his swag, all of his public persona, lit it on fire and threw it out the window. It's a shame to be somebody who calls himself the businessman and did not take care of the little things in business. I mean, you got a fight coming up. You know that you got to make 135. Yeah, you make that weight cut, and it's going to be
You going in and out a
over
bit, Dre.
completely. You know, he looked like he came in. He looked like he came to the weigh-in with a smoothie in his hand.
I don't know what he came to the weigh-in with, but I tell you what, he damn sure ain't come to it with his damn weight that he was supposed to have. So I don't know what's going on with
But
Hat. But what's up, D Free? What's up, Isaiah? How y'all doing today? Happy
for
Fight
the
Doing
Day.
good.
I'm doing good. Happy Friday to you too, and happy Saturday.
Yes, yes, yes. What you got on it? What? How disgusted are we with Keyshawn Davis?
I'm very disgusted. I want to say Keyshawn should change his name to the Con Man because all those bullshit call outs that he did in the past, saying that Tank don't want to fight me, Tank don't want to see me. And then yesterday I found it very funny when they interviewed him and they said, "Oh, what about the Tank fight?" Nah, it takes two to tango. Stop it. You was already 140 practically, and you knew damn well you never wanted to fight anybody at 135, and that just tells me that Keyshawn was gifted the title. Not only gifted, but can we really say that he's on the highest level with the little fights that he has? No, I want to put him in the category as Abdullah Mason because they highly say that Abdullah Mason is barely upcoming. So I'm going to put Keyshawn in that category because one, he's very, 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 what's that word I'm looking for? I don't want to bash him too much because I know Keyshawn smoked a fat L last night.
man, bash the hell out of him.
Keyshawn, he's just very disorganized. His teammates, he got Bomac feeding him Cheetos. Like, what are we doing? And you knew you were gonna make the weight. Why out of his own mouth say Edwin was the one that I was gonna fight because he was the most credible and the only one that ain't turned down the fight. If you knew you was outgrowing the weight, why make Edwin come off the couch, 2-year layoff and blood clots, just to pull this, just to have that brother leave his family,
I'm gonna be
go into
honest.
training camp? Come on now, that's bullshit, Keyshawn. He's not the businessman, he's the con man.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Ryan Garcia might have sprinkled something in that dub he was smoking last night. Did you see him at that press conference?
His eyes was
He
lit.
looked, yeah,
Yeah.
he looked like Ryan Garcia when they were doing the press conference for Devin Haney. He looked like a goddamn. You know what? I'm not even gonna say that word because he's a black man. I gotta respect him on that level, but he's a goddamn punk, and I can't respect the word of a punk ever.
You seem to be very upset. What's going on, D Free?
I am. He
What's going on?
destroyed
What's
my
going
faith
on?
in boxing. Go ahead,
D,
Trilio.
what's up, homie?
What's going on? Hey, I, hey, I gotta say, I'm a little surprised. Not at Keyshawn. I'm a little surprised at my girl Jab Queen. I thought you was gonna be a little more harsh. You taking it
Thank
easy
you.
on Keyshawn.
I am trying to grow and mature as a person.
No, you're not.
No, I mean because see, I mean, we talked about it last night, but I had time to to analyze it even more. Like Keyshawn, everybody that follows boxing or everybody that's that came up. Hold on. Came up in the boxing industry, you know, when you go to camp, you gradually lose weight. You have a certain mark that you meet every so often because you want to be right at fight weight when it's time for weigh-in. Keyshawn knew a week ago that he couldn't make the weight. So much so that he said after he missed weight, when they were like, "All right, you gonna try to?" Nah, I was planning on going up to 140 after this fight
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, that pissed me off even more, honestly. I was like, oh, so you knew you wasn't gonna make the weight. You're not even gonna try.
Exactly.
Right. And so, like, I Keyshawn, he did something that we have to put him in the same category as a Ryan Garcia. And it's sad to say that.
You're going in and out,
I hate
G3,
when
but
people.
I
My
think
bad.
I
My bad. My bad. No, but I mean, it's
But I'm
sad to
telling you,
say, but
driving through Rock Creek Park too.
can y'all hear me?
Yes, I
yeah, we
can.
can hear you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying it's sad to say, but he missed weight on purpose. He missed weight on purpose. It wasn't something that was by accident because when you miss weight by accident, you're a pound, a couple of ounces overweight. This man was literally a few ounces from being overweight for 140. It was literally a few pounds from being overweight for 140. That's not by
And
accident. That's
yeah, and that's what I
purposely
said.
done.
I heard that earlier that day he was only 2 pounds overweight. And then
Which
when he got on
which
the
which
scale later, you were 4 pounds.
which further lets you know that he
It
missed
was on
weight on
purpose.
purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
He missed
Oh,
weight on
there's
purpose.
that smoothie theory.
Yeah, he missed weight on purpose because it was 2 pounds mean you get fined and they force you to make weight. When you 3 pounds to 4 pounds overweight, they don't force you to make weight, but it's up. They don't throw the fight out. It's up to the fighter whether the fight gonna get canceled or not. It's up to your opponent whether that fight is going to get canceled or not. Once you go 5 pounds overweight, they automatically cancel the fight. So he was right in between the range where he was too big for them not to make him forced to lose the weight, but he wasn't too big where they automatically canceled the weight. He was right in between the range because just like you said, he was 2 pounds earlier that day, which means they would have forced him to make weight. So when he went to
So
the weigh-in, he gained another 2 pounds by the time it was time for him to make the weigh-in. Will put him right in that mid-range bracket where they can't force him to lose the weight, but they can't cancel the fight
so
as well.
so what they were gonna what Samson Lukowicz came out and said, he says that they were gonna renegotiate to have the fight at 145, and they were gonna pay De Los Santos more money. Probably he said they were gonna pay him seven figures. So whatever that figure could be in the millions. And they said no, because they didn't want what happened to Haney and Garcia to happen to De Los Santos.
No, no, no.
So
And what happened was Edwin said that he was going to go ahead and get the extra money and take the fight. But when his team heard, they got wind that Keyshawn didn't try to make weight, and he was
yeah.
like, "Nah, nah, nah, I'm not taking that." He didn't even try. Like Keyshawn, Keyshawn literally just fought 5 months ago. Literally just fought 5 months ago. So there was no reason for you to be that much overweight. You're not. You Edwin De Los Santos would have been the one that we thought would be overweight. He was the one that was out for 18 months and couldn't have a proper training camp.
Keyshawn
Yeah.
Davis is a bum.
So I mean, we're getting a lot of, I guess, mixed emotions here. Rod, I did crucify Hami Mugia. I did a whole video about him. Actually, maybe I'll just re-release my video. I did a whole connection of the Eddie Reynoso crew. I said, are they the new CMB? But right now we're talking about Keyshawn because he was the champion who was supposed to headline a card tonight. But I get what you're saying, and all the boxers who cheat and miss weight, they all
All
get
right, who eating the
smoked.
Cheetos?
I just feel like your first title defense, this is ridiculous. This is your
Like,
very first title defense.
see,
There's
like,
no
like,
excuse for this, and to do it on purpose, and it's plain as day it was done on purpose.
And the
right.
audacity to say,
Yeah,
"Oh,
like,
I'm not even gonna try to make the weight. I was
exactly.
gonna move up anyways." So what does that say about these new age champions at 135? I mean,
Nah, don't put it on the champ. Don't put it on everybody. Just put it on the goofy. Just put
no,
it
no,
on that
I
nigga.
put it on. I said new age because Keyshawn, they hyped him up so much, and they said, and I think even as far as Bob Arum saying that Keyshawn reminds him of Sugar Ray. I believe he said Sugar Ray, because Bob Arum was in that time, of course, and he said, "Oh, he reminds me a lot of him." So for Bob Arum to sit there and compare him to Sugar Ray when Keyshawn hasn't even done anything what Sugar Ray has done, and to top it off, this fight, and I like Keyshawn, and I was starting to like him off of those interviews, but I kind of knew something was off because the interview with Andre Ward was completely different from the interview with Cigar Talk, where he praised Tank Davis and said, I understand where he's coming from, and I know how he feels now." So when he started saying stuff like that, in my head I'm like, "Yo, Keyshawn, like, you just got to this level. If you can't even hold it down and do this first title defense, I don't know what to even believe in you and what to even see at you." And if he moves up to 140, he's gonna have to prove himself
All
better
over
and
again.
do better. Yes, he's got to do insane better because the Dennis win, I can't even credit that no more. Why? Because I saw Dennis fight horribly against Keyshawn Davis, and Keyshawn talked up a talk saying, "Oh yeah, I'm the champion. It was so easy, blah blah blah, this that, and the third." So now you got fans in Norfolk hitting up Keon because he made a video. This is all facts. Keon Davis said that he felt disrespected because people were hitting him up saying, "Hey, we want a refund," and I don't blame them. Why? Because let's be honest, the celebrities ain't go out there to see DB3. They went out there to see Keyshawn Davis.
Right, right.
And
No,
well,
and
one second. I just
everybody.
want to shout out. Hold on one second, Market Dan. Shout
Yeah,
out
go ahead.
Marshawn West in the Cash App, and shout out Dub Right Side in the Cash App. I appreciate y'all so much. The Cash App ticker is flashing at the bottom. If y'all ever so decline, decide. But I saw that video, Isaiah, and his brother. I have mixed feelings about that, right? Like you said, they went out there to see Keyshawn. The brothers are on that card as well. They still are on that card. They made weight. So, you know what I mean? You should still show your respect and appreciation to go out there and support them. And they're on the rise. It just so happens that Keyshawn has the bigger platform, which is another reason why, you know what I mean? He should not have missed weight because you have a lot riding on this card, not just you, your brothers. You're elevating them so they can show their skills and possibly branch out in the future. So, it was a lot going on with that. But to your point, I did see that video about his brother, and he said he felt disrespected. So, I mean, I get it, but he has to understand as well. They don't really know you guys yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
Although it is your
this is.
hometown, so I don't see why they wouldn't. But,
I
I
mean,
mean,
this is
it's not
a.
even a fact. It's not even a fact that they're still on the card and they don't know them that well. They not in there with a known fighter. Like, people know who Edwin De Los Santos is. It's not like
now people know
Nah,
Albright.
nah,
Y'all don't know Albright?
I,
People know
I
Albright.
mean, people
not
know
really.
people know Albright for getting knocked out by Dagon. I mean, getting beat up by Keyshawn. The people that do know him, they know him from that because prior to that, nobody knew who he was. So if you do know him, you know him
Man,
from getting beat up by Keyshawn.
man, people say, listen, people like to say, well, the belts don't matter. I think that if what's his name, Keon or the other brother, one of them were fighting for a title, I think people would be coming out a lot, would be coming out for this fight. But
Oh
they
yeah,
don't give a damn about it. They
Necrophilia.
don't give
Hold
a
on,
they don't give a. Can
hold
I
on,
finish?
guys. Oh, go
Hold
ahead.
on, I'm not done. God damn, you cut me off right at the pass.
I cut off his hating. Lord have mercy. Go ahead.
I'm not hating. How am I hating? Who did I hate on? You didn't even let me get the hating.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Hey, Queen, you gotta be careful. You might end up being a racist, Queen. You gotta be careful.
Nah, she's gonna be an authoritarian.
You know that. Oh, please. He called me a racist.
She's gonna be an authoritarian. That's what she'll be in a second.
God.
But anyways,
go ahead.
I was just saying. I think if a title was on the line, I think if Abdullah was fighting De Los Santos for the title, I think a lot more people would be willing to come out to the fight. But definitely, they don't know them. They don't know them two dudes.
But that's not true,
that.
Marky. Then
so
people do know who Nakathelia is, and they do know who Albright is. We're not just gonna just put people down. They know who these guys are.
Okay, fine, but they know who they are. They don't give a damn about them. They're not willing to spend their money to come out and see them on a Saturday night. And not only that, whoever the hell said that to Keyshawn Davis, they out of order. That the refunds don't got nothing to do with them. Bob Arum already put out an announcement saying if you want a refund to contact the ticket distributor because they're giving out refunds.
They were just saying.
Oh, are they? Wait a minute, are they?
They are. Yeah, they're giving out refunds. No, so I don't know. I don't know why you would ever confront Keyshawn with that. That's out of order.
I mean, they
got nothing to do with him.
They was confronting Keyshawn because that's his brother. That's why they was confronting him. They was expressing their frustration and their upset because of what happened with Keyshawn. His fight is canceled. They bought the tickets to see Keyshawn, and they probably can't get in contact with Keyshawn. But because his brother is on Instagram or whatever have you, they're able to get in contact with him. So they was expressing how upset they was of the fact that the fight got canceled. It's his brother.
L. It's a complete L. Because not only Keyshawn's not getting paid his purse. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah, he lost out on $700,000, and Edwin got paid $500.
And that's another loss for Keyshawn. He got to pay for his camp. He got to pay all those people.
Well, these things, like I said in the beginning, we're not going to provide him with any sympathy. I know I'm not, because these are all things that he did himself.
Yep.
I am a little disappointed as well. And Clarissa and Bud, I don't know if you heard their responses to him losing weight. Bud, he just can't make the weight anymore. And Clarissa, she feels sorry for him because she knows he tried so hard and, he was looking forward to this. But that's a bunch of bullshit. Just like we crucified Ryan, we're going to crucify Keyshawn and anybody else who misses weight. It's unprofessional.
And you were just telling me not to pick on him. You were just telling me that.
We can say facts. You talk about he ain't shit and everything else. We ain't doing all of that. Come on, man.
Man, his word.
Can I? We crucified Shakur when he missed weight. We crucified Tank Davis when he missed weight. We
Benavidez.
Hold on, man. Calm down. We crucified these other fighters. What's the problem with crucifying Keyshawn? There is no problem with it. The man is out of order, and he should have made weight. And then 4 pounds, he didn't even try to make weight. In my personal opinion, he didn't even try. So fuck. Respectfully. Let me make sure I don't want to say fuck him, but fuck him, because you didn't even try. You didn't even try. I remember watching when the fight happened between what's the UK fighter's name? The two brothers, what's the two UK fighters' name? Conor Benn and what's the other brother name? Eubanks. I watched Eubanks. They put him in a damn sweat bag.
I'm about to say that looked like a sauna suit or something. They rolled him up. That is correct. They rolled him up in a sauna suit.
This man Keyshawn didn't even try. Man, he unprofessional. How you the businessman and you conducting bad business around here?
He's not, bro.
Hey, y'all remember when daggone Sean Porter cut his braids to make weight?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like Keyshawn did last fight with Barenchek. I think that's why he came in there without his dreads, because he was struggling to make the weight then. So you knew that back then. that making 135 was a struggle. Because the first thing he said was, "Oh, I've been making this weight for 4 years. You know, it's getting harder. I was moving up to 140 after this fight anyway." So why did you even bother to win the belt? Why did you
I
even
mean,
go for the belt? You ain't hold it long.
You,
You
I
ain't
you
mean,
even
know,
the,
finish
hey,
it.
you know what's so crazy, sis? It's crazy because champions always say you're not a true champion until you defend your belt. This man ain't even defended his damn belt, and then you lose it on the scale. Stop it, man. We're not trying to hear none of
I,
that.
I mean, and this is why I go to the level and I call the guy a punk. Okay, the champions, like the guy you just mentioned, Sean Porter, Warrior, guys like from back in the day, they were never missing weight like this. Not at this level. Not when they understood they had big money opportunities on the horizon. This guy is spoiled. He's
Man,
been spoiled. He comes up through
these
the Olympics. He gets his first title shot within his first 15 fights, and he thinks he can do no wrong.
Marky. I remember when your coach, your trainer, was your damn nutritionist as well. These people have the
Yeah.
resources to have a nutritionist, to have a trainer. They have the resources, and they doing worse than what the older fighters, the guys who didn't have those opportunities, they doing worse than what they was doing back then. This man for let me get back in order. I'm out of order.
And not only that, it goes back to the bright side. I agree with everything you said. It goes back to the goddamn fans. The fans of today have become pussified. We have become, or I ain't gonna say we. I'm gonna say they. Those fans specifically. They have decided, oh, we need to be about protecting the fighters. We need to be about, oh, why should the fighters have to endure all this and that? That nigga that chose to say he wants to make 135. I didn't tell him to put his name on that contract. I didn't tell him to pick this profession. He did that. So why the fuck are we gonna sit here and gonna make excuses for this grown ass man? And now, as a result of what he did, there's consequences for other people. How is he gonna pay those? Well, I'm sure he got the money, but he's gonna have to pay those people that were helping him during his camp. Bomac gotta get paid. He gotta eat. Everybody know Bomac gotta eat. Them sparring partners,
Stop it.
they gotta be
Shout
paid.
out. Stop it. Shout out Barbara D and 2 cent in
I
the
speak
cash
facts.
app. I
Y'all
appreciate
don't like
y'all.
it.
No, that's ridiculous. Listen, no, I mean, I'm not
So
disagreeing with
Bomac
that.
don't gotta eat.
Marky, calm down.
He is ridiculous. I'm not disagreeing
Bomac
with that.
was his strength and conditioning coach and his nutritionist, and I heard
Oh,
that
well,
he
that's
was.
explains it all.
I heard. No. I don't know why you're laughing, bro. I'm being for real, bro. Bomac is the strength and conditioning coach because I don't think Keyshawn is
Security.
But who do we
bro.
need security on?
Man,
Exactly.
ain't no way that Bomac. Hold on. Ain't no way Bomac is anybody's strength and conditioning anything. The
Yeah, he
man,
is.
that man, look, the man had it there, and I think Bomac is a hell of a trainer.
Y'all
I
make
think
sure
he's a
to
hell of a
smash that
trainer.
like button too,
He is a
y'all.
hell of a trainer, and
Y'all have
Bomac.
to stop this.
You see, what people forget is that Bomac could lose the weight, but he doesn't. He chooses to be that way,
Man, stop the cap, man.
bro. It's true. If you want to lose weight and you're
You
dedicated,
telling me. Hold on. You
Bro,
telling me that Bomac can lose the weight, but the man is eating the
Cheetos,
extra large bag of Cheetos.
Big
That's what you
Macs.
telling me.
let him. Let
This
him
man,
eat
this
Cheetos,
man
but next
sits in
time
a
don't feed Keyshawn Cheetos. That's all I'm saying.
And
this
you
man
are you
sits
now
in a
you out of
goddamn gym
order. Now you out of order.
watching people exercise. He sits there, watch them go do road work, and wait for them to come back.
Because he
Or
is
he, or no, he driving
All
the
right.
golf cart.
he's
He
a
got the
coach.
golf
He does.
cart dub. That's
All
what he
right,
got.
guys.
That's
Come
what
on.
Bomac got.
All right.
Shit is ridiculous. Out of order.
Listen. Okay. So now that we know that Keyshawn
You don't like
is
the facts.
that
Marky,
has
calm
nothing to do
down,
with facts,
brother.
Marky
Calm
Dan.
down, Marky.
Now that we know
I'm
that
calm. I like him.
Keyshawn is unprofessional and that he missed weight, he's moving up to 140. What do we see for him going into 140? Because as we talked about earlier, Frank Martin called him out as well. He needs a good comeback fight at 140. What do we see Keyshawn? Do we see him getting a belt at 140? And from who? Who is Keyshawn going to fight at 140? Does he have the same, I guess, options as Frank Martin? Who? Richardson Hitchens? Cambosis
Uh,
needs to go sit down.
I don't, I don't, I
No,
don't, I don't think
I
he
don't
does right
think.
now. Yeah, not right
Yeah.
now. At least he gotta go up to 140. I don't think him fighting Frank right away would be a good fight for Frank considering the layoff. I think Frank should go in there and fight somebody a little bit. I don't want to say a bum, like maybe on his level, because I've been seeing a lot of videos of Frank Martin. And his footwork is looking a lot different. He's looking a lot sharper. So I just don't see,
Yeah, he
Keyshawn.
has a different trainer.
Yeah, he moved. He moved. I think in his last interview, he said that he was with this new dude. I think he's been with them for a couple months. But as far as the champions at 140, we all know Teofimo's not going to fight him. Teofimo, I don't know what he got going on. Hitchens, maybe he might fight him. I do see him beating Hitchens, but like I said, I mean, aside from Puelo and Gary, I think Gary would be his toughest fight for the WBA.
Antoine.
Yeah,
Are you talking
Gary's
about Frank
good.
or are you talking about Keyshawn? Either
Keyshawn.
one is fine. I just wanted to make
Yeah,
sure. Okay.
Keyshawn. Keyshawn can fight Frank, but I think Frank got to come back in the game first before we even mention him and Keyshawn. Because if Keyshawn think that's an easy fight, I mean, Frank can move around. So, and we did see that in the Tank fight until unfortunately he got clipped. But as far as him being on that 2-year layoff, he has been in the gym working hard. So Frank, come fight a bum, and then Keyshawn, you go fight whoever you need to fight at 140, and maybe we get that fight in a year at the end of next year. As a matter of fact, not this year. My bad.
Yeah,
At the end of the year.
my bad, brother. Good, good.
Nah, you good. You good.
No, I was just gonna say I gotta see this footage of, well, firstly, even if there is footage of his of him getting better, that's your opinion. I don't believe it. And we gotta see Frank Martin get back in the game, like you said.
Guy.
The last
Marky
time I
Sam.
seen this nigga in an interview, he was cutting up fucking prime. He was cutting up prime rib, and he had a diamond bracelet, a diamond earring, a diamond fucking ring on his pinky, and a big ass bust down chain. Okay, I don't think this nigga is serious about coming back to boxing. I think he's good. I
Nah, I
think he's
mean,
just like
he's
Riddick Bowe after
getting
that
No,
first Holyfield fight. He
no.
yeah,
done.
I mean, see,
I mean, he's chilling. Let's be honest. He got
And
paid fat. So
yeah,
see the
and one more point before you go free. I think if Frank Martin were to come back, I think he has more options than Keyshawn at 140. Because Pueo and Gary are at PBC. Whereas Tio, he's gonna drop that belt. I don't think Top Rank has anybody in those rankings right now, at least from what I researched. So there's nobody really there at Top Rank for Keyshawn at 140.
no.
no,
I mean
you're right. Though. You right.
that's not true. It's guys at 140 for Keyshawn. But see, this is the thing. See, this is the problem with a lot of fans. A lot of fans are like Mikey Dan. They too emotionally invested in these
I mean,
fighters.
really.
Speaking
Shout
facts.
out to my sister
You
who's
gotta
on the panel.
take your emotions out of it because
What up,
you gotta
y'all?
be a fan of the sport. You gotta take your emotions out of it. When you too emotionally attached to these fighters, you start acting like Marky Dan. And there's nothing against Marky Dan. I mean, Marky Dan is a young man and he don't know quite how to
We speak
control his
facts.
emotions yet. But
Marky Dan 63.
but the thing is, with Keyshawn, it's going to be a while before he gets a title fight because all of the title holders at 140 right now have fights coming up. And Keyshawn, I don't think he wants to wait for these guys. I think he wants to get back in action. So he's probably going to fight a run-of-the-mill fighter at 140, and then he got to work his way back up to a title fight because right now he's at the mercy of those champions at 140. The only one that he can probably force a fight with is maybe Tio because they under the same promotional umbrella. But everybody else is a part of another promotional company. So he's at the mercy of those guys.
Did you hear the clip? Hold on, Marky Dan.
Top
Hold on. Did you hear the clip that I played of Tio on Spaces? He's moving in a completely different direction. He was stating guys like did he say Richardson Hitchens or he said Tank? He said names like that. He said that only thing he owes Top Rank is promotional fees. I mean, it's
That, that
auditioning fees.
Man, real quick.
that's what I'm saying because I wanted to
Hold
ask
on.
is he
Hold
still
on,
under
my
Top Rank? No, but I want to
well,
clarify: is he still under Top Rank or is he under Turkey?
No, he's in the top rank, but he has a promotional, like a co-promotional deal, or he had at least, where he Bob Arum lets these guys, and Bob Arum made an interview too, and he said, I advise these guys, I let them know, hey, if Turkey's giving you money, take that deal. Obviously, Bob getting a cut. So for T.O., it's good because he gets paid a big amount, and Bob gets a cut of that, like same shit, like how he's always done it in Top Rank.
Okay, go ahead, Dub.
what's up? Hold on, let Tucson get in here. What's up, Tucson?
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Yeah, we talking about Keyshawn and what is the deal moving forward?
Yes.
See, the thing is, I've been watching Keyshawn, and I keep saying that these guys, like, they're trying to strategize like Crawford. Like, you give me Crawford like 3.0, except they're not Crawford. They're not as good as Crawford, so they're not going to get away with as much, and they're putting themselves in the spotlight and drawing all this attention to themselves. And so for Keyshawn Davis, for me, it's still like three names I could think of that people would be interested in seeing Keyshawn Davis fight at 135. And he was saying, oh, I could make the weight. Basically, he was saying I could make the weight. I just don't feel like it. It's kind of what I felt like he was saying. And I think somebody said it was some people for him at 140 to fight. And I think it may be some decent fights for him at 140, but who's at top rank at 140? Like, what was the benefit of him moving up to 140? Because from my understanding, he could have fought this fight and went up and made T.O. his mandatory if he would have
Oh, well,
just held on to that belt.
he would have became T.O.'s mandatory.
Well, he would have became T.O.'s mandatory, so then that way the fight would have been, it'd have been more force. It would have been more applicable to make. And it's like,
he definitely could have.
But T.O. is at 140 still, so I mean, can he still fight him now at 140 since he's going to 140?
Nah, because they dropped the belt. Well, they stripped him of the belt, so now he can't force that.
Oh, it won't be a man. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's not able to force it. But you see, earlier someone said something about Keyshawn not be able to fight the champions, and I think this is where Keyshawn's gonna have to play it strategically because T.O., I mean, he can get T.O., but he's gonna have to work his way back in the WBO.
But maybe he don't want to fight the champion.
Bob.
That's why he went this way.
So. Yeah, I think Keyshawn said all he said, all that he said about him missing weight, not because he knew, but as an excuse, and because he looked very like disappointed, and man, it sucks because this fight was gonna be so good. Everybody was so hyped, and I knew something was off. I don't know if y'all remember in the weigh-in.
Yeah, hold on. Sorry, Isaiah, but L-Dub just said that T.O.'s mandatory isn't for another 18 months. So T.O. just fought his mandatory, which was Barboza.
Yeah, well, it took him forever to fight Barboza.
Yes, it did.
I mean, but
could have been fought Barboza 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But Barboza said that he went into the office and he begged Bob to not make that fight.
I think Bob is gonna have Keyshawn set up probably to fight for the WBO title in, if not one, maybe two fights, because you saw it with Shakur. Well, let me say this for you. You saw it with.
Let him get this out. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, you see. Why you acting? Anyway, you see Shakur when he missed weight at 130. It took him one fight. You saw T.O. after he lost to Kambosos. It took him two fights before they gave him Josh Taylor. So even if you're not in position, he'll get you in position relatively quick.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, unless he's a mandatory for T.O., he can't force T.O. to fight him. It still will be a voluntary fight for T.O. So we just saying he might be able to get the fight with T.O. It's not a guarantee that he will get the fight with T.O. unless he becomes a mandatory. That's what I'm saying. With the champions at 140, he's at the mercy of them. They gotta want that fight and send him an offer. He's not in position where he could say, "Okay, I'm fighting this guy next." He's not in that position. He's in a position where he's hoping that one of these guys is willing to take him on as an opponent.
Y'all know the greatest thing about all of this is so fantastic that at least we got something to talk about outside of Tank Devin, Ryan Garcia, Canelo out. At least we got something else to talk about. And I don't think it's for the right reason, but at least we got something else to talk about in boxing. Keyshawn Davis, I just want to say this real quick. How the hell are you the businessman and you conduct a bad business? How the hell are
Because
you
he
the
over there
businessman?
rocking with the other bad businessman,
And
Bad
he messing
Bud.
up everybody else business. Y'all seen that video his brother posted, like people asking for their money back and this and that. And I'm like, that's the problem with these guys. Like that their sense of reality is kind of warped. Like, first of all, Keyshawn, you didn't think that if you miss weight, how much stuff this is gonna mess up for you and everybody around you. And then for your brother to be like,
An
oh, people
idiot.
asking for their refund back. Like, who you think they coming to see, bro? They coming to see Keyshawn. Like, I get it, y'all on the card, but they not coming to see you, Otis. They coming to see Keyshawn. Yeah, they want their money back. They're upset.
Damn.
The main
That's what
event
I
Damn.
said
ain't
too.
Damn.
happening.
Ain't
Damn.
nobody coming to see you, Otis. They
The
Wow.
coming
main
to see
event's not happening, and that's all on Keyshawn. He got to take
That's what I
accountability
said.
for that. He took all this responsibility, putting his brothers on his back, doing hometown fights. Like, you got to be mature enough to handle this stuff, man. You can't. You Man, he just didn't even try it though. He didn't even try to make the weight. He didn't even
they
try to make
ain't
the weight.
coming to see you, Otis. They coming to see me,
Well, I mean, with
David
all due
Ruffin.
respect, like we said earlier, this is on Keyshawn because this was his opportunity to help elevate his brothers. And to Sin's point, they're not really that known, so this is putting them on a big stage where they can get recognition and maybe start to gain a following. So he pretty much dropped the ball for everybody. I'm not really sure what his plans was. I really honestly think that he was banking on the fact that Edwin De Los Santos would have taken the fight anyway.
Man, that man. Listen, I hate to say it this way, and I'm not gonna call. I ain't saying he ducking nothing like that. That man, and like 2 cents, that man didn't even try. And when you get up there and you don't even try to make the weight, what are we doing? And
Yeah, and
I'm
that and
glad,
but
and I'm
you
glad.
could.
Hold on, real quick. I'm glad that they said nah because you didn't even try. Man, the fight off. We not Abdullah
It,
Mason, the individual that you were supposed to be calling out. That's the headline fight now.
this
Him
why
and
I don't.
Nakathilia. Hold on, man. Him and Nakathilia. That's the headline fight now. And the crazy thing about it is because you didn't try to make the weight, and now you end up paying, and they pulled out of it. Now in your hometown with your brothers on the card, the headline fight is the nigga that you were supposed to be calling out. Supposedly, it's ridiculous, man. Man, this is some nonsense that's going on in the sport of boxing, and we need to be very critical of Keyshawn Davis right now. That man, this is some
That,
nonsense.
that's why I
But
don't
this what's
understand.
even more
That's
diabolical
why
is you picked him off the couch.
That's what
You
I'm saying.
picked him
But you know
off
what's
the
crazy?
facts,
couch.
Two said, how
facts,
does he was
facts,
able to make the weight and you weren't? Like you just said, you picked
facts.
him off the couch. You just fought what 7, 8 months ago. He ain't fought in a year and some change. How was this possible that he made weight and you didn't? So
And you,
absolutely, I agree with
but you
Akito.
didn't even try. You
Hold
didn't
This
even.
on,
why I
Doug.
say
Hold on. I want to read this. He's made weight 4 years. He knows what it takes to make 135. He was trying to either get an advantage or get out of the fight. I have to say I agree 100%.
this is why I don't understand what you're saying, Dub. That you think it's a good thing that we talking about this instead of Canelo and Benavidez or whatever or them any of them other fights. This is just another Ducktales. This is just more Ducktales. This is all this goddamn is, man. It's just another
So you saying that
case of
man?
the
So
sport
you
of
saying
boxing.
you saying that Keyshawn Davis is ducking Edward De Los Santos by missing weight?
I'm saying I don't know if I don't know
Yeah,
if
you
That
said
wouldn't
well
even make
you
sense.
know
He
what
you
picked
said
him to
fine
fight.
ducktales.
yes I
You
will
said
say that
ducktales.
I will say that
How can you
because
dust you pick? That's
because
extra diabolical.
well, exactly, and this man's coming off the couch after 2 years because he did not try to make the weight, and you're not guaranteed. This man is not guaranteed that he's going to renegotiate the weight and take the fight. So you are trying to get out of the fight. If it was the case that you intentionally tried not to make the weight, this man was a 140 pounder. It's like Free said, if it was another couple ounces, he would have been over the limit for 140. It's his ducktail, and then his ducktails on the Abdullah part. He's just running his damn mouth like his fucking like his Puerto Rican brother Shakur. Couple of
Would you
clout
stop it with
chasing
this
goofies.
foolishness? Okay, so here's the thing, right? I will say that I don't think he tried to make weight only because earlier that morning you were only 2 pounds overweight. Then later that afternoon, when you go to step on the scale, you're now an extra 2, making it 4 pounds overweight. So I really don't get the method behind his madness or what he changed. To Akilo's point, what did you change that you were doing from your last 4 fights, and what did you do different than you did in your last fight when you were able to make the 135? So just things just aren't adding up. I don't know strategically what he was planning to do. Like I said, I really think that he was banking on Edwin just taking the fight anyway because he figured he needs the money. He's fresh off the couch, and I'm gonna leave me a little extra weight on here to put some punch resistance. I don't know, but either way you look at it, it had to have been done strategically, or to 2%'s point, you just didn't give a damn after a certain amount of time.
Edward De Los Santos getting his money regardless. So who cares?
That's a beautiful thing.
He
That's a
getting
beautiful
his
thing.
money regardless. And I'm glad he getting his money, and I'm glad that. And I criticized Devin Haney when he said, "Give me." When Ryan Garcia came in overweight, what he said? Well, I'm gonna take the fight anyways, but y'all, hey, send me the money anyway. Send me the money, and I'll take the fight. I criticized Devin for that, and then he got hurt like he got hurt in that fight, even though Ryan is a drug cheat. But at the same time,
we're not gonna start that again. Go ahead.
I ain't going that far. I ain't going that
He
far.
is.
But at the same time, in this situation, for Edward De Los Santos to sit back and say, you know what? Nope, I'm not taking it. Pay me my money and screw Keyshawn. Screw him. If you ain't gonna be a professional about this thing, I'm gonna be on weight. You're not gonna be on weight. Pay me my money and let me go on about my business. I ain't got no problem with it.
I think what it is
Real quick, L Dub said something, and well, go ahead. I apologize.
okay. I think what it is Keyshawn went out there and he saw an opportunity to play some games, and his games backfired. He went out there, because
In the worst way.
3 pounds overweight, you are or less, you are required to try and lose the weight. At 5 pounds overweight, they automatically cancel the fight. So he goes just a little bit over the 3, actually missed it and went a little bit over the 4, and figured, okay, we're gonna play this game and see what happens. And it all blew up in his face. It was the wrong game. It was against the wrong fighter, and it was the wrong thing to do. I hadn't even considered until Two Cents says something about it. The fact that you got your brothers on the card. You got both of your brothers on the card. This is supposed to be another DB3 night in Norfolk. It's supposed to be all the shine and all the way. It's us taking over, doing it the right way, selling out. And
don't forget Vic. Hey, don't forget Michael Vick now. Don't forget Vic.
Well, Michael Vick was in the audience.
Go fight
Michael
some
Vick
dogs
wasn't on the
somewhere.
card. We're talking about people on
Wow.
the card. He disappointed everybody, and and now he's got people. We talking about him doing the stupid things, and we could have been talking about anything else, but we talking about him being stupid now.
I mean, my big issue, this nigga literally, he stood up on the scale, smiled, and flexed. Like he worked hard. Like he did a good job.
He smiled, flexed, and the dude taking weight was looking back like, yo, who gonna tell him?
Well, you know what? I mean, Elta brings up a good point. What does Edwin do? You know what I'm saying? Because this, again, something else that falls on Keyshawn. What does Edwin do? Because even though he may or may not have won that fight, it was his opportunity to be resurrected, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because we had not forgotten about him, but, we knew that he had health issues going on. We didn't know he was well enough to fight. So now what? What does he do now?
Well, you know what?
I'm saying?
He does have a good promoter. Samson is a very good promoter, And I'll be honest. I think this because there were a lot of people saying that it boosts his stock, which I don't believe that. I just believe it makes him more relevant. So in a sense, I do see him getting maybe a bigger fight than Keyshawn at the PBC, considering Samson's connections over there. I do believe that this was good in a sense for De Los Santos because one, that shows that he's not money hungry. And for all we know, he might have more money than Keyshawn. That's why he didn't bow down and say, you know what, this guy came in overweight. I'm gonna just take the fight and the money, and that's it. But Samson, I do believe Samson cares for his guys, and I do think that now with all this being said, it's gonna keep De Los Santos relevant, and it's gonna keep us questioning to where we are gonna have these conversations like we're having now. What's next for him? So I do believe that this elevated him in the sense of getting a bigger fight. So we'll see. I mean, he did train. The good thing about it is, he got off the couch, got back in shape, and I think that's a good thing for him. Of course, ring rust is a thing, but I do believe that if he continues training and staying ready, I do think we'll see a stronger version of De Los Santos his next fight for whoever that is.
Going to 140.
Do you think he stays at 135 or does he move up to 140 where he could possibly be stronger?
I think he was already about to fight Frank Martin. See, and that's another thing that's even more diabolical. He was already about to fight Frank Martin at 140 pounds, and then something happened with that fight, and then Keyshawn calls him and tries to bring him back to 35 to fight him. He's about to move up to 140. He's not about to be at 135.
Well, Keyshawn said that De Los Santos actually got in his inbox and said, remember, you said you were going to fight me. So that's how that fight got made. I guess whatever happened with the Frank Martin fight fell apart. And then De Los Santos reminded Keyshawn that Keyshawn was talking greasy or whatever. And so he said, let's make this fight. But I mean, either way, what is next for him? I mean, I would suggest that he goes to 140 because he didn't really look all that healthy to me. And maybe that's still, a little bit of the hospital is going on or whatever the case may be, but he just didn't look that great to me yesterday at the weigh-in.
Yeah, that's definitely
could take
no
on
longer his
another
weight
journeyman at
class.
140, starting from somewhere in the middle of the pack. And, I think maybe that it's a viable option now to fight Keyshawn at 140. I don't think it would happen, but it's a viable option now.
Yeah, I mean that's
Hold
what
on,
I said.
hold on. You're saying it's a viable
They
option?
might actually do that though. Now
Hold
that
on,
you're saying that out loud.
wait a minute. We saying it's a viable option for Tank to fight Keyshawn at 140?
No,
for
we're
De Los
talking about De Los
Santos to fight
Santos.
Keyshawn
Oh,
at
okay, my
140.
bad. I'm out of order.
Y'all in love.
But you know what? If I was De Los Santos, I wouldn't fight Keyshawn at 140 because you took away my opportunity to fight for a championship belt. So I'm not about to fight you for no belt.
That is a very good observation. I think Keyshawn might have a long road to hoe before he gets another championship opportunity, no matter whose ass he whoops at 140.
That's not a bad damn idea, L-Dub.
Because,
that ain't a bad idea at all.
Because let him go out there and run the gauntlet at 140 through all of the journeymen before you give him, make him fight 6 fights before you give him a championship opportunity. And he has to stay on a winning
streak. You talking about Keyshawn?
Yes.
Yeah, he should definitely start at the bottom, I think.
Man, the man gonna be the man gonna end up fighting Sandor Martini or who knows?
You know what? Sandor would be a great fight.
Wait a minute. Sandor Martini. If it ain't Sandor Martini, it's gonna be
Puelo.
What's the name? The one that damn, I can't think of the brother's name right now.
Aro.
That put hands on Tio. He lost the fight, but he.
Oh, Cambosis.
Not Cambosis. No. Damn.
Artem.
Say it again.
Was it you talking about Artem?
No.
You said who Tio fought?
No. Claggett?
Not Claggett. Man, what's the?
Ortiz.
Ortiz. Thank you.
Ortiz.
Yeah. Jermaine Ortiz. That's gonna be. It's gonna be a fight like that for him. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be one of
I
those
don't think
fights.
Keyshawn deserves a fight like that. I think he needs to. I think he needs to start a little bit lower.
We,
And
we, we, we're not talking about what he deserves. I'm just saying what I think Top Rank is going to do. And I think it'll be one of those fights. It'll be a Jermaine Ortiz or a Jermaine Ortiz or a Sandor Martin. It'll be one of those guys. That'll be the quote unquote acclamation fight to 40, and then they'll try to place him in position for a belt, a title. And I gotta see exactly how it plays out, but I think that's kind of how it's gonna play out.
you know, I think he
Okay.
needs. I think he needs to go backwards before he can go forward. Because to pull a stunt like this, you know, for a belt, with a championship belt on the line, that's bad business. You
But
know,
but but, but you
Top
think
Rank
he should go
Top Rank
backwards
had to
with
pay
Top
Doug.
Rank? Bob
Top Rank had
Arum,
to pay
Bob
Doug
Arum and Top Rank
Santos.
don't think that man should be moving backwards. They trying to push him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They even though we look at it in a certain way, that ain't how they look at it. They trying to push him forward. And
But you know
Wait a
what?
minute.
even
He
with this
just cost Top
situation,
Rank a half
go
a
ahead.
million
I'm
dollars.
out of there.
Nah, Dub might be onto something though, because considering how they were pushing Keyshawn Davis, I actually thought about that yesterday, and I told myself, are we gonna see Bob Arum give Keyshawn or try to get him a big fight, or he fights somebody like an Ortiz, somebody like a Sandor, and after that fight automatically force Tio, right? I thought about that, and we all seen what Top Rank can do. So that's all. That's one thing that crosses my mind.
Well, you know,
Well, I don't know. Y'all don't think that Top Rank is a little annoyed with him right now? And they
Even
still have Abdullah.
even if Top Rank is annoyed
he
with him,
just cost them money.
he's still the top level as far as what they got going. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
regardless of them being annoyed or whatever, you got to understand the business model. And they're gonna put him in the ring in a situation, especially with him moving up to 40 now. They're gonna put him in a situation where he can become a title holder within the next two fights at 40. In my personal opinion, that's my opinion. I could be wrong about it, but
At
that's how,
140.
at 140, that's how I see it. I think that's how they're gonna move him.
Okay. I mean, that's interesting. That's. Mm.
Why would I if I have a fighter like Keyshawn in my stable? Why wouldn't I be trying to put him in contention, regardless if he dropped
Can y'all hear me now?
when Shakur
Yeah, we can
Stevenson
hear you.
when he lost his belts on the scales? What did Top Rank do? They still moved him and put him in position for a title fight at 35. They still did that. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you move fighters. You don't move fighters, especially individuals like a Keyshawn that is a
Testing
talented
1 2. Can
individual.
anybody
You
hear me?
don't move them for them to be less than or not in position. You don't move them like that. And Top Rank got some of the best matchmakers in the business. So they're going to find a way to put him in a fight. I don't know exactly who the fighter is. I don't know. But they're going to find a way that he's going to
Hello?
be out
Can
of
anybody hear me?
contention in the next two fights.
Yeah, we can hear you, Dre.
Something's going on.
We can hear you. Can you hear us? All right, go out and try and come back. What were you saying, Dub?
I was just saying that you don't move talented fighters and put you don't move them in a way that they aren't in position. You put talented fighters in position, and Keyshawn is talented enough that they're gonna put that man in. He's hey L Dubs, there you go right there. Keyshawn is big business. They're gonna find a way to put that man in position. I don't know exactly how it happened, but they putting that man in position for a fight, or for a title fight in his next two fights. That's in my. I think I ain't gonna say this. I ain't gonna use my brother Marky term.
Hello?
Marky
Is
gonna tell me
anybody
that's
out there?
facts.
We can hear you. Can you
Hold
hear
on.
us? You can hear us, Big Dre?
Shh.
You
gonna have to get off that Cricket Wireless, baby. We can hear you, but obviously you can't hear us. Go ahead, Dub. I mean, that's actually a good point. Keyshawn is one of their stars. I mean, they don't really have that many. So, I mean, that is a good point. However, he did just cost them some money. You know what I'm saying?
Even if I cost you money, it's I still have to make money off of you. Even if I didn't put this situation onto um, Top Rank as far as Keyshawn goes, I still, as Top Rank looks at it, I got to make money off of you some type of way. And the way I'm going to do it is by putting you in title fights. You're a star over on this platform. L Dub said it best. You big business right now. You out of order business, in my personal opinion. Your business is out of order. You're supposed to be the businessman, but you're out of order. But at the same time, why would I sacrifice or say that I'm not gonna allow Keyshawn because he cost us money? Well, now that you cost me money, I need to make money off of you. I
Yeah.
need you to be in big fights. I don't need you in no low tier fights. I need you to be in position to be that guy. And so I think, like I said, I give it 2 fights at 40, and I think he'll be the second fight, possibly the third. He'll be in contention for a title.
At 140. So you think okay? So he'll go maybe take an acclamation fight, and then you think they'll start to make put him in a big fight. Who do you think that big fight would be, though? Do you think it's gonna be Tio or who else over there? Richardson Hitchens.
Well, Richardson Hitchens, he's with Eddie Hearn them, so I
Oh,
don't
that's
think he'll
right.
do that fight. I do think that if I think you move him up. Shout out to my brother Elder. I love the Haney fight. I want to see it, but I think you move him up first. I think that I don't think he gets a fight with Hitchison, Puello.
But Haney
Uh,
is at 147, isn't he?
Agreed,
Isn't
agreed, agreed. But I don't think he gets a fight originally with Puello, with any of the champions. But I do think you can. I see a world where you can move him up. He fights somebody like I said, Jermaine Ortiz, Sandro Martin, somebody like that, and then he's on part of fight a Teofimo Lopez. I Hell, I don't know what Tio doing, so I might be out of order with that one. I might be all the way out of order. I don't know what Tio doing. But I see a world where you can move them up and kind of match make them. You know what I'm saying, with the individuals you have. I don't know exactly who the fighter is. If my brother LW is saying Haney, then I think that might be a possibility because LW he might be the smartest man in boxing. Respectfully, he might be the smartest man. So maybe that's a situation that can happen. I don't know, but I think that there's gonna become a point in time where I really think Tio and him. I think that's gonna be the next fight. Me personally, not the next fight, but after the
Keyshawn and
acclamation.
Tio?
Yeah, after the
Yeah,
acclamation, I think that him and Tio. I can see that fight happening too.
yeah. Keyshawn wants him. He's been saying that he wants Tio for quite some time now. So
Tio said he want all the smoke. Well, Tio also said he want to smoke with Devin. So that's a whole nother story. I don't want to get into that. Y'all gonna crucify me for that one. So
no, go ahead. What you were gonna say?
that Tio ducking.
Well, I just played the clip of him saying that he didn't want to fight Devin because Devin looked shell shocked. He didn't want to go over to Saudi because out of fear that he think he'd get robbed over there because him and Devin because him and Devin are of the same faith. Talking about Turkey, it's a whole bunch of garbage going on coming from them. But we also can't trust everything the Haney's say. So
Sound like
who
Duck talk to
knows?
me. Sound like Duck talk to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's ducking who. I just know that the fact that he didn't defend his belt is just it's disheartening, if we're being honest. And I'm not really exactly sure why some people are coddling him instead of saying what it really is. You know what I mean? That was very unprofessional. Whether he strategically did it or not, you wasted a whole lot of people's time. You have a whole lot of people upset, including your brothers, because of the backlash that they're receiving. The only person that I could see that this really helped in this whole situation was Abdullah Mason.
Shout out to Abdullah Mason.
Absolutely. Now he's elevated on the main stage. You know what I'm saying? He gets to put on. He's always had the most dominant performances on those undercards, in my opinion, anyway. You know what I'm saying? With Keyshawn coming in a good second, but he's always been the most highlighted fight on that card to me.
I want to say this real quick. Nakathilya, he a puncher. You know what I'm saying? I think he got a chance to put he gonna get his ass, he gonna get whooped in my personal opinion. I think he gonna get whooped, but at the same time, I think he got a chance to land a big shot and knock Abdullah down. Abdullah, his defense, it ain't been what it should be in my personal opinion. But at the end of the day, Abdullah Mason gonna put hands on Nakathilya in my personal.
Excellent point, Ant. Excellent point. It helps the fans that claim Keyshawn and Shakur were holding up the division. Well, it's not a claim, they were, but yeah.
They can't hold nothing up no more. Shout out to and Vasyl Lomachenko. Shout out to the champion Vasyl Lomachenko. He just retired, so shout out to him. Shout out to Raymond Muratalla for being elevated. But the division is wide open at 35 right now.
That's what I said. Lomachenko decided to completely enter the witness protection program that he was already partially in.
The man is 73 years old. What you want from him?
I appreciate him. And his 18 fights. I really do.
Hey, only person older than Manny Pacquiao is the only person older than Lomachenko fighting right now. That's all I'm
and he's fighting again. So
security. My bad. I'm out of order.
Yes.
Security. Put hands on. Please help that man Pacquiao. Don't let him get hands put on him because he put. My God, I don't even want to see it. That's elder abuse. Is that elder abuse? Is that elder abuse?
It is. I want to say this though, because I'm glad you brought that up, because I hear a lot of people saying, well, who else was Barrios gonna fight? This is I guess a good fight for Manny Pacquiao. So I don't know if people are just disrespecting the shit out of Mario Barrios or if Pacquiao was really that good. I just really can't tell. If I'm being honest, we're talking about drug cheats.
Security.
I'll leave that right there. Security. You can't call security on me. This man, listen, please. Well, okay. He said we got security. We got Pac-Man messed up. I got Pacquiao by KO. That's interesting that you say that. That's why I'm asking. And is Mario Barrios 100% trash, and I just don't know it?
Man, Mario Barrios putting hands on Pacquiao, man. He putting hands on that old. And Manny Pacquiao was 83 years old. What you want from him? He shouldn't be out here fighting.
I'll be fucking around saying the witness protection thing, but I'm happy that he decided to go ahead and retire. I mean, he's smart. He wants to go while he still has all his faculties in order. Why does he need to continue to fight? If he feel like it's not in him anymore, then that's probably the best option for him. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, go help. Hey, and I say this respectfully. Go help Ukraine win the war, man. Shout out to Lomachenko. Shout out to him.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about right here. This is what I know. I'm trying to figure it out, Akito, because I don't understand it. Everyone is acting like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Everybody's acting like, Manny about to come out here and really put it on Barrios. So that's why I'm like, am I confused? Or, like, what am I missing?
Manny Pacquiao is 93 years old. What y'all expect from him?
I expect him not to get his ass in the ring, but apparently I'm wrong for expecting that. So that's what I'm saying. Who really thinks that Mario Barrios has a chance?
No, you in order. Manny Pacquiao don't need to get his ass. Mario Barrios, he ain't the best fighter. The man struggled against 63-year-old Abel Ramos and I say that respectfully. He struggled, but and damn near shit, in my personal opinion, lost that fight. But he gonna put hands on he gonna put hands on Manny Pacquiao. So I give him credit for that. He gonna put hands on Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao
But that's
is
are we giving him
100.
credit for that?
But
Are we going to give him credit for that?
Manny Pacquiao is 103 years old. So
How he get older every time you open your mouth up? Stop it.
Oh, my
I'm
bad,
asking you, are we okay? So everybody, are we giving Barrios credit if he puts head, shoulders, knees, and toes on Manny Pacquiao?
No.
Are we going to give him credit for that?
No.
No.
Tucson?
Absolutely not.
This is what I'm saying.
Manny Pacquiao is 113 years old. So I don't know what do we
Security,
want?
somebody seats up to his car, please, because he's out of order in here. Now he's 113. Listen, so you're not giving him credit. I'm not giving him credit. Tucson not giving. Isaiah, I didn't hear you. Were you giving him credit if he beats Pacquiao?
No, I don't give him no credit whatsoever.
This is what I'm saying.
No credit because he's already retired. He's been retired. Why are we even considering that? And if
Manny Pacquiao is 123 years old, and what do y'all expect?
They just saying that
I need King Henry to click the link because obviously we're out of order. We don't know what we're talking about. Come explain to us why you think this apparently is going to be easy work for the Pac-Man.
Manny, it's fine. You an 8 division champion, bro, but boxing is about timing. That shit don't matter. You an 8 division champion. Do we give Jake Paul credit for beating Mike Tyson?
No.
The most feared man on the planet.
And I'm still looking for Jake Paul in his
life.
streets.
No.
Two cent. That man was an 8 division champion 83 years ago. The man is all of 133 years old right now. So I mean, what are we talking about? What are we talking? He's finna get hands and feet put on. I listened to Manny Pacquiao do an interview. Yeah. I love the sport. And
all right, y'all. So you know what? This obviously we are misinformed. I need a Pacquiao fan to come click the link and let us know why we up here tripping because I'm seeing 8 division champion.
That man is 143 years old. And
people get that accolade stuff mixed up. Like, okay, you an 8 division champion 3 decades ago. Like, why do y'all think you finna come back after running for president and prime minister and whatever else you've been doing, and you about to be the active champion?
All right, we got Sin and we got Too Rich. Come tell me why. Too Rich, you think Pacquiao gonna be the one to get this?
Start capping. You know Too Rich gonna start capping.
All right, well let him do his thing. Go ahead, Too Rich. You got 2 minutes on your capping. All right, so go ahead.
I hope Barrios beats the brakes off of Pac.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear that bullshit. Go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this.
Real quick, Too Rich. Manny Pacquiao is 153 years old.
Stop it.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Too Rich. My apologies.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. This is what we know about Barrios. He gonna start off good. He gonna fade in the middle rounds. He gonna pick it up at the end. Every fight Barrios, even when he wins, he gets beat the fuck up. So I know there's gonna be a fight where they both get beat up. Now I would say this: should we have gave Manny Pacquiao a chance at 41 to beat a Keith Thurman? But he did that. Somehow he did that. So I can't count him out. Now Barrios should win, but Barrios get beat up. We know that. He gonna beat up, the Pacquiao gonna get beat up. It's gonna be 2 beat up fighters, and I think it's gonna be a war of attrition. I think it's a 50-50 fight.
Manny Pacquiao is 153 years old, man. And you saying it's a 50-50 fight? That man is
because it's Barrios.
3-4 years too rich. Come on, bro.
I get it, but you know, hey, Pacquiao, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't believe in Barrios.
Manny Pacquiao is 200 years old, and you want to tell me that
even if Pacquiao win this fight, I'm still gonna feel like it's some BS.
Y'all, it's crazy. DP Rock.
I feel like it's a retirement match.
Aaron grew up together.
I feel like both of them risking retirement. I feel like either one who get their ass whipped should retire. Whether it be Barrios getting whipped by 80. How old you said he was, my man?
That
203
man,
now.
that man is 243 years old.
Jesus Christ.
He getting older by the minute. Like he ain't gonna make it to the fight. I, I think if Barrios lose to
Mario
Pacquiao, he
Barrios
should
is
consider.
20, Mario Barrios is 29 years old, and he about to fight a 363-year-old man. The man is
Hey,
as
look,
old as
I
Methuselah.
think I think that Manny, the one thing to analyze is that Manny still has never learned his lesson in boxing. That he has always suffered the counterpunching, and he's still fanatical about his speed. That speed is, it's all good, but it's not as calculated as some of the other counterpunches. And if Barrios just locks in with that mentality, that's all it really takes is one shot to disrupt Manny's rhythm. You know what I'm saying? We already seen Manny took the longest nap in boxing history. You ain't never seen nobody who just went on these streaks, getting just went on this long ass streak to being undefeated, and then all of a sudden the motherfucker died in the ring, had his wife crying in there for about 30-40 minutes hoping he'd get the fuck up. Pardon me. But
Yeah.
if people
And
can't
Hold
Manny, are you
on.
okay? Are you okay, Manny?
The man wife was feeding the man porridge. She was feeding him porridge with a spoon. The man
That's what William
was
Oldfield said.
that man is 363 years old, and y'all expect him to beat Mario Barrios? And Mario Barrios is not a world beater. He ain't nothing special. But I mean, the man is all of 400 years old. So
it's just
Asking
disrespectful to
King
say
Henry, what
that.
did I say that was unfair, King Henry? What did I say that was unfair?
Y'all got my listen, man. Y'all have to let the guests don't scare them off now. King Henry, you can click the link and defend. You can come up here and defend Pac-Man because they ain't giving your man no type of credit. They're not giving him no chance.
Akilo. You didn't see his wife.
He better catch a flight and go in there and fight with Pacquiao if he want to win this shit.
Hold on. You didn't see the man getting that porridge? You didn't see it?
Hey, Doug, let me ask you a question, Doug. Hey, Doug, do you think Floyd Mayweather can come back and beat Barrios?
Yeah,
I don't want to see Floyd Mayweather in the ring no goddamn more. I'm sick of him too. He's another one I'm sick of.
But the question
But Floyd's style aged better than Pacquiao. Floyd's style was built off preservation. Floyd's style was built off countering and outsmarting people, so he has a much greater chance to fight current talent than a Manny Pacquiao does.
Listen. Floyd Mayweather is 43 years old, 46 years old.
He older than Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao is 377 years old. What are we talking about?
Security. I'm gonna need Dub's badge revoked when he leaves today. I need his security clearance revoked. This man is not almost 400.
I think that Floyd could come back even today and beat Mario Barrios. I do believe that. I don't think Manny Pacquiao, and I think the brother said it perfectly. Manny Pacquiao's style, he overwhelmed people. You ain't finna get out there at 673 years old and overwhelm a Mario Barrios, an individual who 28, 29 years old. You're not gonna overwhelm him. You 100, or excuse me, I almost said 100. Let me make sure I'm in order. That man is 563 years old. That man ain't
and he had to use that, played out ass style for 36 minutes. At that age, it's not happening. He might got 2, 3, 4 good rounds in him, and then he gonna get the shit beat out of him for the rest of the fight. And then everybody's gonna be talking about how it's a damn bad idea and listening to us all of a sudden. I don't know what's wrong with these delusional. I guess everybody from the Philippines now, because everybody talking dumb as hell, thinking that he got a chance.
We're gonna be watching elder abuse take place in front of our face. And I don't want to see elder abuse. I love my elders. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my grandmother. I love my elders. I don't want to see that man at 663 years old getting beat down like that. I don't want to see.
So, Too Rich, you think Manny got a chance?
Well, what I'm saying is Mario Barrios gonna get beat up. So that means Pacquiao gonna put hands on him. Hey, when Mario Barrios fades in the old middle round, I don't know. I think Mario Barrios should be favored to win, and he should just use his jab like Ugas did. Use your jab, stand behind your jab, and just jab him to death. But will he do that? Mario Barrios like the battle. It's gonna be a battle, and there's gonna be a bloody fucking war in there, man.
It ain't gonna
So,
be no damn war. It's not gonna be a war. And the reason it ain't gonna be, I don't know if y'all watch.
It's gonna be no bloody war. It's gonna be a bloody ass whooping.
I don't know if
No
y'all
bloody.
I don't know if y'all watched him fight this dude who was a kickboxer or whatever he was. I don't know if y'all watched that fight. Manny Pacquiao got hands
Oh,
put
the
on him.
last exhibition. What was that? An exhibition that he just did?
And he got hands put on him. He got hands put on him in that fight. I mean, and this dude ain't even no professional. He ain't a professional boxer. He a kickboxer, some shit like that.
I thought the ref hit his ass one time in that match. He got did bad.
All I'm trying to tell you, a 763-year-old man is not going to get in there and beat somebody who's 29 years old. It's not going to happen.
We got the troll of the century in the building, Big Dog Willie. All right, so I mean, basically, we're not giving Pacquiao any goddamn chance. What I'm trying to figure out, and I want to know, how the hell did he come back and even enter the rankings?
Corruption. That's why. Because somebody.
Well, you know, they got that clause for the champion. So any champion like Mayweather and Pacquiao, they can always come back and fight for a championship.
Man,
I forgot what it's called.
I
They
did
got
not
a
know
name.
that. I did not know that.
Queen, do you mind if I share my
Somebody got a
screen real
manila
quick,
folder.
Tab
That's
Queen?
what
Hold on,
happened.
quiet, guys. 1 second. What were you saying, Toussaint?
Do you mind if I share my screen real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Somebody got a manila folder.
This is what we're talking about.
Can y'all see the screen?
Oh, we can see it. We can see it. 893 days. I mean,
Man,
893
look how
years
slow
old.
he is, y'all. He don't have that same athleticism, speed, pop, none of that. He can't even punch longer than 20 seconds. That's what I'm saying. I don't think people are looking at, they just thinking about old Manny Pacquiao or prime Manny Pacquiao. This is Manny Pacquiao currently.
Well, okay,
How
well,
long
let me
y'all
ask
think he's
y'all a
gonna be able
question.
to do that? By 3 rounds?
Even back then, even back, my fault. No, even
Hey,
back
look at
then,
it from a
Pacquiao was
style
never
perspective.
a crafty boxer. Like we said, like my man said, he overwhelms you with hyper aggression. He don't outsmart fighters. So it ain't a lot of work for Barrios or anybody else to have to do. It should be disrespect. Barrios should feel disrespected for even
That's my
being
point.
offered to
That
fight.
is my point exactly.
And
That's
so
what I'm saying. Like, is Barrios just that trash that we just like, here, fight this old nigga right here? Like, because to me, it's like you said, it's disrespectful. Like, yo, I am a champion, bro. How you pulling this nigga from the senior department of box rec trying to make me fight him?
Hey, it's a good name on your resume. It's a good name. It's a good name.
Yeah.
But you don't get no credit for it, which is
but it's
my
not
point.
good
Are you
timing.
gonna get credit for it?
Yeah, it's not good timing. All the real boxing fans should know to analyze the timing of the names that's on your resume. If you fought them when they was at their best, or if you fought them when they was over the hill. And Manny Pacquiao's at the bottom of the motherfucking hill.
He 873. And what we expect this man to do? The man is the same age as my grandmother. I'm just saying.
Well, let me ask you this question. What does Barrios do better than Pacquiao? What does he do better?
Jab.
Younger.
He jab better. He's younger.
I would imagine
he's more active.
He's gonna have more. He's gonna have more output than Pacquiao is
more
able to have in this fight.
He's gonna be better conditioned. You gotta think.
Stronger.
The thing that y'all don't realize,
He
you
has
don't
youth
just
on his side.
you don't just come back into boxing and then do one camp and boom, you good. No, you're gonna do a camp, you're gonna be, maybe you can make the fight, but you're not gonna be like in tip-top shape, like you just ready to go out there and beat an active champion at 46 years old after a 4-year layoff. And if he do beat Barrios, then I guess everything y'all saying about Barrios is true. He trash.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure this out.
If I was Barrios, I wouldn't even take this damn fight. And the reason
That's
I
what I'm
wouldn't take it,
saying.
I understand putting that name on your resume, but like the brother said, timing is everything in the sport of boxing. And when you got somebody who, just imagine you lose to Manny Pacquiao when he's 963 years old. Imagine you lose to him. Imagine that. Barrios, you can't recover from that, man. I wouldn't even took this fight.
That's what I'm saying. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. He gets absolutely no credit for fighting Manny Pacquiao. This is like a lopsided fight because if Pacquiao wins, then everybody that's clearly on Pacquiao's side, oh, he's back. The 8th division champ is back in his wheelchair, whatever. But now if Barrios beats the Stone Cold Steve Austin out of him, it's like, what are we doing? We like, man, he should never fought him anyway. He was expected to beat him. So I just really don't understand the purpose of this damn fight. Is it a stay busy fight for Barrios? Is that what it is?
It's money. It's money. It's a big chip.
Real quick, King Henry, it ain't a lose-lose for Pacquiao. It's a lose-lose for Barrios.
That's what I'm saying. King Henry, click the link, baby. We don't bite. Okay? Come on up here and tell us why you are clearly bothered at the fact that we're apparently not giving Pacquiao his respect with his 93-year-old ass. 2 Cent just played the clip of him moving around, and that wasn't in slow motion. That's how he really moves, correct? 2 Cent. Like, we didn't alter no videos. We didn't do nothing. That was him working out in the parking lot at the Home Depot. So we're trying to figure out what it is about Manny Pacquiao that got you. You know what I'm saying?
Not the Home Depot.
Got you really drinking the Kool-Aid. We want to know.
Manny Pacquiao, my sister said he was, what you say he was? 46? How you said?
Manny Pacquiao is 93. So
okay.
I don't
He's 893. 893. And whatever he did, it's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is elder abuse. This is literally elder abuse.
It's disrespect to Mario Barrios as far as I'm concerned. That's just what I'm saying. It's disrespect.
Mario Barrios should be in the ring with Brian Norman Jr. He should be in the ring with Boots Ennis, any other upcoming individual, Devin.
I mean, but this on Barrios too. Why he taking the fight? Just like everybody's saying.
That's what I was asking. Is it a stay busy fight for him since there's no other champions available for him to fight? Like, what is the
money?
The process around this? How much money can he really be getting for fighting Manny Pacquiao though?
I mean, Manny Pacquiao has a very
Manny Pacquiao win. You're gonna be like, what? If Manny Pacquiao beats Mario Barrios,
I want
Manny Pacquiao to do next? He's just gonna get his ass whooped by the next person he fights. That's what's gonna happen.
And we really don't want to.
That's all we waiting for.
Even him fighting Mario Barrios is at least Mario Barrios. He ain't no big puncher, nothing like that. If Manny Pacquiao, some type of way, if 936-year-old Manny Pacquiao get in there and win against Mario Barrios, what he gonna do? He gonna fight Boots next? No. He gonna that'd be the worst thing we could ever see. He gonna fight Brian Norman? No, that'd be the second worst thing.
This is what I'm saying. Where does
no,
he go
he's gonna fight Rolly. He already said he wants to fight Rolly.
I heard he was ranked.
He said he wants to fight Tank.
Oh man,
Pacquiao told me when I was in the gym that Manny Pacquiao was ranked number 5 at 54 in the WB.
No, 47.
No, they said he was ranked at 54 too. I said I gotta check that because if he ranked at
57, let me check this shit right now.
They got something up their sleeve. Check it out. Somebody told me that in the gym yesterday.
Man, somebody, hey, I don't know who doing these rankings. Somebody taking taking manila folders around it. That's all that's going on. They
always take the manila folder, Doug.
You know we agree on that too. You know we agree. And
he's not
Pacquiao beat Barrios. Pacquiao versus Spence.
Lord.
Hilarious. Stop it.
You want Pacquiao to eat out of a straw again?
It's the PBC now. It's the PBC. It's a big show. It will be a big show.
Too rich. I don't know where you're getting your information from, but you sound like a casual, bro.
Nah,
bro, I'm just giving an idea what PBC might do. You know it's gonna be a PBC fight. Just look on the PBC who over there that he could fight. She said 54.
Spence is
Was
Spence
it
has
ranked
He
been
said,
Jab
he said
Queen?
he was
Was he on
ranked
there?
at 54. Y'all said something might be going on. Well, hey, Spence at 54. That's all I'm looking at. PBC fighters that he might could fight that
Look at
would
this
be at
shit.
54.
Manny Pacquiao enters WBC rankings at number 5. Well, I'll be damned.
Man, security. Where's security,
Y'all
man?
said
Oh
maybe
my
at 20.
God.
Y'all trying to get this man killed. Yeah, I just heard this, brother, and I say
I mean, this
respect
is the
to
same division that Devin Haney is ranked number 1 in, and he ain't even fought at the weight. So what?
I
Why are we
mean,
still
he out of
saying?
order,
really?
and that's out of order too.
Yeah, facts.
When when when
Devin
when,
is a
when
junior welterweight.
when
Remember?
Ryan Garcia was ranked number 1, that was out of order. These manila folders, man. That's all I'm trying to tell you. These manila folders, I don't know what to tell you. God damn, man, good lord. We can't even have a good boxing talk with these damn manila folders being passed around out here. We can't even
So
have a
that's
good
another
boxing talk.
thing too. How much stock are we putting in these rankings? Because obviously we can see they've been manipulated. The man ain't fought, and what that should say, inactive 4 years, and now he's number 5. Like what's going
Yeah,
on
that
around
makes
here?
no sense whatsoever. How? I get it. He's a legend, but that doesn't give him the right to skip the line. And yet alone, if he wants to come back in this sport, he need to do it like George Foreman did it when he came back in the game after what? He was 40 something years old. And what did he do? He started over. Pac-Man ain't even do that. He just said just because he moved up or he's an 8th division champ, does that give him the right? Hell no. And I hope Barrios beats the brakes off of him just so they could finally retire him. Because I think that's ridiculous that he's headlining a main event. I mean, the fights on that card are pretty good, but do I want to see Pac-Man and Barrios? No, I would have rather seen Rolly and Barrios.
Isaiah, the man rent his due. Rent his due, so he got to pull up. He got to pull up accordingly. The man is all of 973 years old, and the rent is due, so he got to pull up and show up. You know what I'm saying? But my goodness, man, I
I
ain't
mean,
trying to see.
It don't matter how old he was, whether he was 23 or 93. Like the dude always had a hyper aggressive style that always suffered the counter punching. So like it don't matter what it was. I'm saying like Barrios don't have to do much, and neither does the next opponent to win this fight. And I just think that because Barrios being from Mexico, Pacquiao having that delusional ass fan base from the Philippines, it is a monetizable fight. So I could reason with the promoters on the money grab, but when it comes down to the boxer's health, ain't nobody in Manny's corner that care about him that convinced him to take this damn fight and that convincing him to keep
I
going.
agree.
Stay in that park and keep shadow boxing and doing that shit out there and just beat the shadow up. Because anybody else who got a little bit of flesh and blood in them and just a little bit of youth on their side, they're gonna have their way with Pacquiao. Plain and simple. That's just how I feel. You gotta be half decent to deal with him right now.
You ain't even got to be half decent. Manny
Hey,
Pacquiao
hey,
style.
Gerald
Manny
Queen. Hey,
Pacquiao
Gerald
style.
Queen.
Oh, go
Hey,
ahead. Go ahead. My
hey,
apologies.
listen to this right quick. It say WBC rules allow for former champions to request a title fight after returning from retirement. So if they retire and they were a former champion, they can come back and request the title fight.
Straight away. They don't have to do an acclamation fight back to the boxing community. Nothing. Straight away, they could get a title fight.
Yeah, they say it's specifically for legendary champions.
Oh,
Specifically
they
for
just made that up
legendary
for his
champions.
ass. That's
no.
wild, yo.
And who said this? You said the WBC, right?
Yeah, the WBC.
So
WBC rules.
Okay, let me pull this up so everybody can see it.
so
Y'all
we're,
keep
so we're
talking. Let me
talking
pull this
about the
shit up. This is
WBC.
crazy.
We're
Shout
talking
out,
about the
shout out to
WBC.
Mauricio Suleiman for taking the
Yeah,
Manila folders.
and we're talking about the WBC, the same man who lifted up, as a matter, who raised up the levels of clenbuterol for Canelo, right? We're talking about that WBC, that Mario Suleiman,
The same one. That's the same one.
the same
I
one who
guess
made
so.
belts.
One of the most out of order individuals
Yep,
in the sport of boxing. Respectfully.
yep. I agree, Dub. This is nasty work. The WBC, they have their favoritism.
Man, y'all, all I'm saying is Mauricio Suleiman should be put on trial for elder abuse right now. He should be put on trial.
And he is not wrong either. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Where'd it go? Is this it? Yep, this is it. Hold on a second. You said the WB. Which one's I reading? I'm reading this
WBC.
one. Yeah, I'm reading this one.
Okay.
Y'all can see this?
Not yet.
No, hold on. Sorry. At the stage. You gotta be kidding me. Y'all can see it?
We can see it now.
Yep. We
Heck
gotta love
yeah.
boxing, right?
Under Rule 3.25 in the WBC's rule and regulation, a champion interim may request an immediate title shot and be granted one. Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
Well, this makes for a great talking point after the ass whooping.
This, you know what? Yeah, and I'm with Doug now. I want Mauricio arrested. I
He
want him
needs to
arrested.
be. He needs to be because this is bullshit.
That's
That dude.
crazy.
Oh my gosh, man. Mauricio is one of the dudes that wants his way, and if he doesn't get his way, he finds a way and does whatever he can as the WBC president to do whatever he wants. He doesn't care about the fans. He only cares about the fighters that he favorites, and that's it. And we've seen it in the past over and over again, and that's why boxing gets the hate it gets. That's why people don't like some of these sanctioning bodies, and they don't want to pay these fees. One, because you got Mauricio Suleiman doing this bullshit.
Hold on. Is this true? Shane Mosley coming out of retirement?
I don't know.
Nah,
but
he
he
better sit his
better
flimsy
he
ass
better
down.
be joking because
He better sit
you know
his
what?
flimsy ass down.
I don't know who left the door open at the senior department of box rec, but they need to close that shit and throw away the damn key.
Nah, what's
And that's
going
what they
on?
like
Like
to
I
do, Dab Queen. You
Trying to
know they
get
like
folks
to take these
killed.
old fighters. That's like a new thing. Like, let's get an old fighter with a name. It's really sick how they moving, how these young fighters are moving because y'all not proving anything for real, in my opinion. Y'all not proving anything, but except for how
Nope.
strategic y'all can be, how strategic you
Yep.
can be, and how many easy belts you can get, so you can run around and act like you. Because y'all notice they trying to switch the narrative from the type of competition you fight to the accolades that you have, which is why people really thinking that just because Manny Pacquiao is an 8 division champion, he's just gonna be able to compete with just any old active champion that's active right now. No, that's not how it works.
But you also got to look at the temperature and the climate of today's current competition. Like I said on your channel, 2 Cent, like a lot of these dudes is very fragile and soft, and they automatically line themselves up with Mayweather and other greats to try to to try to solidify their own reputations. But when we compare them to those guys, we don't see the fragility that some of these other clowns had. So that's probably what's giving the older fighters some damn some optimism and confidence to go test these younger fighters because they see the same fragility that some of us can see as spectators on the outside. Because anybody who thought that the weight of boxing, the weight of any division could rest on the shoulders of a Devin Haney is you come on, man. Jump off a bridge, find the nearest, go to the bottom of the ocean and stay there as long as you could. Because ain't no way in hell that was logical. Like I feel like a lot of these dudes are young, developing talents. And they're not given the room to develop when they put themselves underneath the weight of comparison to some of the greats that we've seen in the past. They haven't had the room to. And as soon as they get met with the challenging fight, they pressing lawsuits and they pressing charges and all this other shit that's completely counterproductive to boxing altogether. So I can see why an older fighter might feel like they can still do it. Because shit, I feel like I could put Terrence Crawford in a headlock. It's gonna take him at least 3 weeks in a roadmap to get out. So
You know
like
what? I feel like that's a really good point, and I made reference to this the other day, right? It just appears to me that a lot of these boxers are infatuated with being called a boxer than actually doing the boxing, right? And I blame Floyd Mayweather for them protecting their O's and not really wanting to get in there with tough competition. And as you said, worrying about more or less collecting accolades, right? But with all those accolades, some of them still couldn't sell out my grandmother's birthday party. You know what I mean? So I
Right.
feel like we need to pay attention less to the trinkets and more about who you choose to fight to achieve them. Because if you got 29 tomato cans on your record and your record is 30-0, are you really 30-0?
That's a
You
fact.
know what I'm saying? Did you really challenge yourself at all? How do you know what you're really made of if you're not challenging yourself? But today's boxers are so worried about being a meme, which I understand. This is social media. You know, you don't want to be looked at as, you know, the guy that, you know, got his ass mollywopped or whatever the case may be. But they're extremely soft. You know what I'm saying? And without them taking chances and without them showing what kind of heart they really have, their careers are going to be for as long
Forgettable.
as they have them.
Forgettable.
Yeah.
Like plain
Hey,
and
but
simple.
look, hey,
How
hey,
the
hey,
hell can you know, and man, you know, I ain't gonna bring him up. I'll wait till somebody. Never mind. Go ahead with your
hey, but
point.
look, you gotta look at it like this. If you don't let these guys fight with a fair word about fighting,
You going
you
in and
know,
out,
for
babe.
themselves.
Too rich. You got to fix your mic, babe. We can't hear you.
Hold on, might have went out. Let me take it off.
Clogging up the Wi-Fi, Rich. That cap is clogging up the Wi-Fi.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead,
we
babe.
can hear you.
What you was going to say? Go ahead and
All
start
right,
capping.
this is what I'm saying. If all these fighters, you know, fumbling around trying to, it's not the fighters, it's the promoters. But they trying to make a big fight, big selling fights, you know, casual fights, right? What's happening is y'all not letting these guys fight each other, so they're not creating legends. Everybody got a fucking O. So let me give you an example of what I mean. If I say was Floyd Mayweather versus Zab Judah a good fight, most people say, hey, yeah, that was a good fight. That was like a legacy fight. Where Zab Judah had 5 losses at the time that Mayweather fought Zab Judah. What fight are you going to give credit to anybody in today's climate with 5 losses? Because these guys ain't fighting. You know, it's no great fights to lose to. You normally going to lose to a B-side fighter you probably shouldn't lose to. You see what I mean? Because they're not letting these guys fight, so you can't create legends if the great ones are not fighting.
Nah,
And
I
I don't
think
know
that the
if
bigger issue.
Too Rich. Hold on, Sin. I don't know if you missed the beginning part of the show where I played the clip that Frank Martin said, and I addressed it that it is on us as boxing fans. We can't throw these guys away immediately as soon as they lose. So I completely understand what you're saying, but a lot of them still don't have the heart. You know what I'm saying? You can dress it up how you want and say that the promoters don't want to put them in there with this guy. They ain't really urgent. They're not running to the smoke either. You know what I'm saying? So let's just be honest about that. It does play a part of it, but these boxers have to understand that the promoters work for them, and if they really want the smoke, then they can go get it.
Hey, you live
Everybody.
in a time where the 2 people that call the face of boxing, right? You got Canelo Alvarez and you got Tank
He
Davis.
has losses.
They are the same, meaning Canelo has a nemesis and David Benavidez, and for some reason we just can't make the fight happen, right? Just because Canelo ducking, whatever you want to call it. But Tank is in the same situation. We never got the Devin fight. Now Shakur is here. It's just so hard to make these fights that would make legends. This would make because these guys could bounce back after a loss. Just lose to the great ones. If you're gonna take a loss, lose to a great one. Lose to a good one, and you can bounce back. If Abdullah and Keyshawn fight, even who lose, who you pick and beat them. Still not nobody beat them, which means now you got to become great. But you got to knock their heads together. You can't have them create their own ecosystem. They can't create their own ecosystem and be great. They got to fight each other.
Yeah, see, I think that a lot of people just don't accept the fact that a loss is the other side of the game. Like it's not just the win record, and everybody's just been focusing on the win record ever since Floyd Mayweather been here. He's the only person that left with an O, and now everybody feel like they got to preserve that O. If people just took their losses and they make no excuses and just went ahead to the next fight and had a great performance, most people won't even focus on the losses. It would be accepted as another side of the game. No, it would be accepted as the other side of the game, and this is how you really measure the greatness of a fighter. Everybody was a warrior before Floyd. Everybody and all of them took L's. But we did not discredit them. We did not discredit them or disparage them in any way, because normally you ain't hear all this bullshit excuses. You ain't getting no court cases. You ain't getting none of that nonsense. And by the time they put on another great performance against a suitable competition, you forgot about who they lost to. So the fact that all these dudes got this diva mentality, all of a sudden Ryan talking about his hand hurt, you know what I'm saying, but after the fight, we already talked about the lawsuit situation. Like it's just this whole climate of fighters that we see. We've seen something janky or funny from everybody who finally took a loss, and the best thing that they could have did was just literally shut the hell up and book the next fight. And look, like I said, as long as you do decent and show some progression from the mistakes that you've made in your previous performance, we would still give these people credit. You know, so that's what I think the issue is. That people just don't accept that a loss is a part of the game. That's literally Floyd is just the only one who had great selection, great timing, but he still fought a lot of credible competition to where we can't rule out his status. However, his accomplishment has literally tarnished the entire perspective of how we see boxers, especially after they lose.
So let me hold on then, because I don't know who else just got here, but I'm gonna play this again, and then we're gonna go back into what you were saying, Sin, because I think it ties directly into this.
Boxing is the only sport that if you lose, a motherfucker act like it's over with. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you done. Like how the fuck am I done? I lost one fight. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like let's be real. I feel like a lot of that comes when it comes to black fighters. We lose a fight, it's over with. You know, it's a lot of fighters who may lose or something like that, and they people still gonna back them. You know, they gonna still have their supporters, and they're gonna still have people who back them. But a lot of times, like our own people, we lose a fight, they're gonna talk shit. It's over with. They're gonna do all that. But you know, a loss is not detrimental to a motherfucker like me career.
What you think of that?
Big fact.
I completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree. And
Yeah.
he couldn't have said it better. You know,
And I
plain
think
and
that,
simple.
like you said, that's us. You know what I'm saying? We do that to our fighters. And I don't know when it started, you know what I'm saying? But it has to really stop. Because like you said, back when fighters was fighting everybody, you lost, okay, you went on to your next damn fight. Who cares? Only one person's hand can be raised in that ring.
Plain and simple. And there's a million factors that go on outside of the ring. Like people try to credit ring rust. I hear fans. I hear people who want to fight a cold talking about how long somebody been out the ring and all this other shit. And it's like, look, all the hard work is done in training. The one time that you get to see him is literally the one time you get to see him on fight night. It's about how many times they've been in that gym in between the fights. It ain't got nothing to do with, very little to do with being in the ring and fight. That's the easy part. All the hard shit is done in training. When you train, you're supposed to focus solely on your weaknesses. If you already got a good jab and your left hook or your right hook trash, just like with Ryan should have been focused on that right hook. We all seen the left. We all know that the left is there, but as soon as that left hook get neutralized, he don't have no other tools or no way to initiate a conversation in combat. That man's supposed to have a jab to set up that left hook. The jab is the foundation for all the punches. You know what I'm saying? And you got some so-called great talents who are skipping very foundational steps to building, you know what I'm saying, to building their repertoire. And as soon as that like I said, as soon as that special move gets neutralized, you got to go back to the basics. And he ain't have no basics, and that's why Rolly was, once he took that damn hook from him, he ain't know what to do from that point. He was damn near mute. And there's a lot of great talents who suffer due to those skipping those foundational steps and focusing on all their strengths in training. Coaches being fans, Deontay Wilder. I think his coach was a fan of his knockout so much that he never pressed that Deontay Wilder needed to have a great jab, especially he probably the longest fucking heavyweight up there. How does this man not have a great jab? And if he can't have a great jab, you shouldn't be booking no fights. Damn, Deontay Wilder, 6'14", 84-inch reach advantage, 84-inch, I'm saying, wingspan, and he don't have no jab. Like, come on, man, this shit's crazy, man. This shit's crazy. Like, another big issue is coaches being fans of their fighters and not really pressing them to beat the foundation of boxing into them.
What's up, Paige?
Hey, go ahead. I'm gonna say this. Like me, you'll hear me say a lot about the promoters or the management, because you got to think a lot of these fighters don't control their own destiny. And we saw Abdullah up there in a little beef up there with Keyshawn. The first thing he bring up, well, my team, you know, we can put something together my team. So that letting you know he's being advised. So we have to bring them to account. People are advising them. You know, it's a business, so they're being advised. So a lot of times the management and the promoters, they're trying to get a direction going for their fighter. You see what I'm saying? So we have to put them as somewhat accountable. Now we have a few fighters can determine on destiny, don't get me wrong, but a lot of fighters are being led by whoever is advising them. You know,
So
the
then let
daddy,
me
the
ask you
management.
something then too, Rich. Since you made that point, do you think somebody advised Keyshawn to miss weight?
I'm gonna say this. What I was going into this, because I was gonna bring it up. You'll hear me talk a lot about content creators. I'm a content creator. I'm revamping my channel. I don't really do long form, but you know, I got a lot of subscribers or whatever case may be. And as content creators, you got to think it's only one YouTube. It's only one. So when these young fighters go online, when he say, man, our fans talk about us like this, where he getting the information from? He's getting it from social media. He's getting it from YouTube. We are responsible somewhat for how these young fighters see the world. But they see social media. Ryan Garcia come in overweight off Austrian. Nobody cares. He beat Devin Haney ass, and nobody cares. And then you surprised Keyshawn came in overweight. He saw y'all didn't care about it. So now he get caught in the trap. The black fighter got caught. He got caught in the trap. De La Santos don't take a fight. Perfect move. Now he holds the flame.
People still dragging Ryan Garcia to this day too, Rich. So that's not a fair assessment at all.
No, you know what I'm saying? Last time we was on here, I made a point of saying that when Ryan Garcia came out the way, I said that was more dangerous than the Osterine because he came in weight on purpose to have an advantage.
Same thing with Keyshawn.
But Canelo got his ass whipped weighing damn near 20 pounds over Mayweather.
That's what I don't understand what Rich is talking about. Nobody, him missing weight, even if De Los Santos would have took the fight, it still would have been a bad look. Because why are you missing weight to get an advantage on the dude that you cherry picked off the couch?
Which is facts. And I think that I more so think that YouTube, social media kind of fucked up the fight game, to be honest, because look what happened with Devin when he took his loss. A lot of these fighters don't be wanting to go into that situation. Tank even mentioned the same shit. Him losing it and what the fuck the backlash would be when they lose. So it ain't just
Tank didn't even lose and still became a meme.
Yep, and that's what I just said too. Like I blame this on Mayweather. Everybody want to be Mayweather, and nobody paid attention to Pretty Boy Floyd.
And I ain't saying that Floyd had anything to do with that shit, but it just seemed like with the De Los Santos shit, and then you told Ryan to miss weight on purpose with Devin. It's like a lot of that shit coming from what the fuck he got going on, bro. A lot of this boxing shit that now we look at now is a lot that have to do with Floyd, bro. It's like it was good for his prime, but the shit that's going on now in the boxing game is pretty much from him. The legacy.
Man, I ain't giving Devin no credit or sympathy behind that because he said that man was a C-class fighter. So I'm thinking C-class. You know what I'm saying? If he's C-class, 3 pounds, it take more than 3 pounds and a milligram of Osterine.
But what I'm saying is what I mentioned when I say that is that you had YouTube channels building Devin up so much to being this person that we also thought we really didn't see that he was. But when his loss came, you saw what happened with the backlash.
That's because he kind of acted like a. I mean, you know, he kind of handled that loss like you know, this is no disrespect, but you know, it's like he kind of handled that loss like a Caucasian woman. You know, he went and pressed charge. He a fucking boxer. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't say press no battery charge. Running around these dudes running around calling people cheaters. As long as people been taking performance enhancing drugs, when have you run around seeing people pointing fingers talking about cheater? That's some little kid shit. You know what I'm saying, and then they work with the biggest cheater in the history of the sport. Period. You know what I'm saying? So we supposed to analyze Ryan, you know what I'm saying? We supposed to psychoanalyze Ryan with that minuscule amount of Osterine that the actual New York State Athletic Commission determined that the amount was not conducive to any type of advantages that he could have got in that ring. But we'll ignore that. We'll ignore that and still call him a cheater. But at the same time, won't acknowledge Victor Conte and all these clowns' corners, or Vada and all the shaky shit that's going on over there. Like, it don't make no fucking sense, man. And I just find it funny that all the snack fighters are the ones saying cheater, 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 cheater.
Yeah.
But all these dudes be buddy with each other. And like they move like a bunch of inferior fighters to me, man. It look like a circle of B-class talent that's upholding each other, making sure they don't ruin each other's rep. But they got some fishy stuff going on over there. And I mean, you can see the lack of integrity in how they move all together. But nobody analyzes that. And we just gonna go ahead and crucify Ryan and hold him to the cross left and right, like this man never had a knockout left hook.
Yeah,
well, hold on, because I want to just address what Ramon said. I think it does put a little bit more pressure on Abdullah Mason, but I think he's ready. And I think that maybe he's so shy that he don't know that he's ready. But if we're being honest, he's always been the star of Keyshawn's cards. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. You know, he's always been the star of them cards. He's always been basically the one I wanted to see. I mean, I'm going to obviously watch Keyshawn, but if Abdullah on that card, I'm checking for Abdullah. So it's a little bit more pressure, but, you know, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. I don't know.
I just feel like they had that back and forth type of who going to put on a better performance type of situation. But I think Keyshawn looked at what social media was saying, like, and I feel like that's why he pretty much went at him like that. But, I mean, I feel like a lot of people said that he not ready, bro. When I'm saying that, bro, the nigga, how much more do he got to get ready? Like, they both at the top level of boxing right now.
Facts, big facts.
So it's like, if you gonna take a loss now, take the loss and get back to it. But like again, I said, social media, they'll tear you down, bro. Make a nigga not even want to fight no more.
Did you hear the clip I just played from Frank Martin?
Yeah, it's always our people. I said that I think I said that on KO channel. It's always our people that do that shit though, bro. A lot of people just get passes with that shit. Like, for instance, with Teofimo pretty much ducking, it was big for a certain amount of time, but then you see that shit started to fade away.
Yeah,
man,
I played the clip that Teo had when he was on Spaces too, and he basically was just going over what he said, like, you know, he don't want to fight Devin. Devin's boring. He said that he didn't even really get a chance to look over the contract before Bill and Devin was out here in these streets calling him a duck.
People pay, man. They pay media people, bro. Like they.
Yeah, that's what he said too. He said that he has a lot of paid media. What's up, Fight Sport?
What's up, guys? How are you doing?
We good. Happy Saturday. Happy Fight Day, babes.
Hey, yeah, it's good. Except not going to be as good of a day as it was, thanks to Keyshawn. I understand I'm quite late. So what have you guys not talked about?
Well, we pretty much talked about everything. So first, I played the Teo clip that he was in Spaces last night talking about. I'll play just a little bit of it so you can kind of get a gist of it. But at the end of the day, he was basically explaining why he does not want to fight Devin Haney.
I saw that,
and I don't believe that Haney.
You say you saw it?
Yeah, I saw the clip, and I saw him talking to his favorite YouTuber, Punch Drunk.
He was talking to Mike Tyson, and he was talking to.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
and I don't believe that Haney's. Truthfully, I don't think that they even deserve the acknowledgement to come back like this. I don't. After a shit performance like that, get a good win and let's stir it up. But there is no reason for me to go all the way across the Middle East, and I think that is poor for everybody else that we built this fight in the U.S.
Yep.
As a business analyst on that part, look, I only have promotional fees to pay Top Rank, but I could go anywhere, wherever. You guys could possibly see me and Tank fight. You guys could possibly see me and Boots fight. You guys could possibly see other fights in line that could be made. Rather than, what would you guys rather have me see? What would you rather want to see? Look, of course, I've been working nonstop on how to cut the ring off. Barboza tried to move, and we cut the ring off. We successfully did that. And we won the fight unanimously. So I don't have no issue with the whole situation. However, I don't believe that this move was for the takeover. I believe it was mainly for the Haneys. They
That's
published
exactly
it while I was reading the contracts. That right there already gave me a red flag. This is all in cahoots for the media to promote Haney because they had a shit performance. I just looked at it as a setup.
facts.
That's all it is. I looked
Especially
at it
if you
as
go
a
to
setup.
Saudi, I feel like they would have robbed you over there too, man.
I
You know, I
believe
feel
The
that
like
as
Haneys are
well.
Muslim. Look. I don't got could use that for the Haneys.
yeah, that's true.
No, think about it. Like, I just want you to clear out. Like, why would I duck a guy that doesn't punch? Okay, that is literally shot, PTSD from all that. I just looked at it as a setup. Now, this is freedom of speech, and my speech of that is this. That my speech on this is this: that the Haneys may have a lot of their hands in the pockets of the media. So it doesn't do any justice for me at the moment. Let them simmer it. They don't have anybody else. Name me another fight.
So, as you can see, that's him basically explaining why he did not want to fight um, Devin. You know what I mean? At the current moment, I mean, he made a point that he really don't got nobody else. But really, Tio, who do you have? You know what I'm saying? I think he's a little delirious. But you know, he made some valid points.
Well, first of all, shout out to everyone else. Paid in full, 2 cents. Dub, it's been a while, and everyone else. Yeah, I personally I don't agree with anything Tio's saying. I
How
mean,
you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you? I don't agree with anything Tio's saying because the idea that Devon's got nothing because Tio's saying I'm going to duck Devon, so Devon's going to have no options. I mean, they could make the Hitchens fight. They could get Russell or Pacquiao over. So or he goes up to welterweight. I don't think he does well there, but they've. I think he's got options, and Tio. Yeah, it's just it's he just finds a new way to move the goalposts. It's the same thing Tyson Fury did with Usyk before he eventually fought him. It's the same thing as I mean, so there are so many others. It's equivalent to Riddick, Bowen, Lewis. So, um, and the only thing I'll say that maybe this is a new point others haven't made is that when before Tio was world champion, he fought Nakatani, and he won the fight clearly, but boy, did he look vulnerable that night. He was getting nailed by right hands the entire fight. And the first thing he said afterwards is, I'm never going to fight somebody taller than me again. So I don't know if Tio seems to have the bit of a mentality of a weight bully, which is if I can bully these guys, then cool. If there's a chance that he seems to be worried that if he can't catch Devin Haney, he can't win. And so instead of taking that risk of losing, he's just going to gloat and say, nah, play hard to get.
Can I say this real quick?
Mm-hmm.
I was saying that before I heard that was my first time actually hearing that recording, but I was saying on my live that anytime the news keeps switching that fast and the fight is on, the fight is off, and the fight is like it's doing that within days or hours, that it's some propaganda and it's some type of ploy to put public pressure on somebody. And to hear T.O. say he was still reviewing a contract when they released that the fight was already done and signed, I can believe that because we've seen Turkey doing that before with other fighters. Case in point, uh, Boots and Virgil Ortiz saying, and the Canelo and the Jake Paul incident. Like all of these incidents we have of Turkey trying to sway public opinion to force a fighter to do something. So I don't know why he's trying to force T.O. Is it because he's trying to force T.O. to fight in Saudi, or is he just trying to force T.O. to fight Devin? And were they told that the fight would be in America? Because I think that's what everybody believed. Because I don't know why you would take two Americans that you just let fight in America on a card that you've been promoting here in America for them to fight to Saudi Arabia. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I don't know, Toussaint, if you listen to Punch Drunk Boxing or if you heard the clip that I had before of him, he said that he apologized because he didn't want that smoke for him or his family. So I took that to mean that he was threatened in some sort of way. So maybe that plays a part as to why he doesn't want to go to Saudi as well. But I mean, there's obviously something going on.
Sorry, if I may just say, Ty, I was on Punch Drunks' show after he said that, after Tio was insinuating, well, I don't want to go to Saudi because they might do something to me. It's like it's just another excuse that makes zero sense, because I was the only one who said this on Punch's show.
Is it though?
Well, no,
we've heard about Turkey.
Well, yeah, Turkey's a bloodthirsty tyrant. But it's none of this would have happened. This wouldn't be an issue if Tio had kept his mouth shut. So, I mean, I think he made the dictator comment because he thought, okay, if I piss Turkey off so much, then I'll have an excuse. I think he planned this. I think he planned, if I piss Turkey off so much, I'll have an excuse not to work with him. Because if he had simply just not said dictator, then, which again was completely unjustified. I mean, again, you can say Turkey's a piece of work, he's a scumbag, whatever, but to say a dumb thing like that, it's stupid.
Like, trying to force him to sign a fight.
How is it dumb though?
You're trying to force him to sign a fight.
Dictatorship type of country. That's a dictatorship.
Propaganda to try to for the public to pressure him to sign a fight, to fight in a country that he doesn't want to go fight in. And I'm not trying to defend Tio. I'm just saying, if that's true what he's saying, then I can understand why he would be like, "Damn, you a dictator!" Like, let me finish reading the contract.
Let me ask that, because my fault. Go ahead, Fight Sport.
Yeah, let Fight Sports finish. Send it to you, Ten.
Yeah, 2 cents. I'm not defending Turkey, although maybe it sounds like I am. I don't. First, I completely disagree with that. I don't think he was forcing Tio to fight. He was saying he wants the fight because we know publicly he tried to give Tio the fight he wanted, which was Boots Ennis, and Boots didn't take the fight for whatever reason. So it's not. So Tio can't use the excuse of, oh, this isn't the fight I wanted. Like I wanted other fights. Turkey tried to make the other fight and it couldn't be made. So it's like, okay, here's a fight that makes sense. This will justify me giving you a good payday. So no, I don't think Tio had any reason to say, oh, dictator. Like, well, he's giving you money. He's giving you a fight. He tried to get you the fight you wanted. Like, that's just another bullshit excuse, in my opinion.
Sen?
For one, I already think that the Haneys are very disingenuous crooks. I think that Bill patted Devin's record down there in Tijuana, and all the way up until the point where he elevated his record and status and started pushing for the Tank, Mayweather, whatever the case may be, whatever little repertoire. I think that bottom line, Haney alone is shady business. Him having Turkey in his pocket or Turkey being in his pocket, whatever that relationship is not trustworthy. The Saudi Arabians do not play by American rules. When Crawford fought Madrimov was a champion. Was he not?
He was.
Who came out second in that fight?
Madrimov.
No, he didn't. Crawford came out second. The champion's supposed to walk to the ring second, but Crawford came out second. So the stage was already set for Crawford to win the fight. It was already disrespect to the champion alone. Then they threw the concert for him in the whole nine. So I see the unfairness of why certain American fighters would not want to go fight in Saudi Arabia. See all of it, from those examples alone, but the Haney, like I said, Haney in America or in Saudi Arabia, he's shady business in all languages, dialects, and countries. I don't care what nobody say. So with Turkey combined and whatever Teofimo may have done to piss him off, I definitely feel where he might feel like his well-being would be at the mercy of some other people he's barely cared about over here. And so I definitely wouldn't want to take that fight in Saudi Arabia. I can see the dictator comment fitting very well towards Turkey behind closed doors, because he seems like he just rubs me as that kind of person.
Sin, could I ask you a question?
Go for it.
I don't. Sorry, I thought you meant who came out second, as in who lost the fight. So I understand what you're saying, but what you're describing, the challenger coming out second like he's the champion. The same thing happened with Miguel Cotto and
Hold
Sergio
on, Box.
Martinez.
Try and reconnect, Randy. Try and reconnect. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Fight Sport.
The same thing happened when Sergio Martinez defended against Miguel Cotto. In fact, he got angry with Cotto, and he was asked, why are you getting angry with him? And he said it's because Cotto is demanding that in order to get this fight, I have to come to the ring first. I'm being treated like I'm the challenger when Martinez was the champion. And Cotto said the same thing. He defended when he lost his title to Manny Pacquiao, and also Pacquiao wasn't the superstar, the biggest superstar he ever was at that point before that fight. But Pacquiao came to the ring second, even though Cotto was the champion. So these things have happened before in America plenty of times. I don't think
But
that's
was
a
it ever
valid.
right though? Is it not disrespect to a champion?
No. Well, it's disrespectful for sure, but it's not unique to Turkey. Like, champions get disrespected all the time. I mean, I think Usyk is the most disrespected champion in boxing, but that's not really down to anything special. It's just stars get special treatment. So I don't think that's a valid excuse for Teo to throw a hissy fit.
So then, hold on. So that brings us back to what we were discussing before. What matters then? Your popularity or your belt? Because a lot of these boxers tout those little trinkets around like they really mean something. But as you just said, he wasn't a big enough star. So which one really matters? What's going on, Randy? How you doing? We can't hear you. Go ahead, Fight Sport.
Well, I'm not justifying this. If I had my way, if I was emperor of boxing, I would make sure that no matter who the biggest star is, I'd be having the champion treated like, if he's a deserving champion, I'd be having him treated like the star that he deserves to be. Like, he comes to the ring second, pays fair, like no special treatment with ring sizes and certain gloves and all that stuff. But it's not right, obviously, for the champion to be treated like the challenger. But it's just the way boxing is. I mean, everybody and people blame Pacquiao and Floyd for this, but this goes back to Ray Leonard getting all of the circumstances he needed to edge out Hagler. So it's been going on for boxing for years.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that it's right. And since you brought up
No, I never said it was right. Sorry.
Okay, that's what I just said. I said that doesn't mean that it's right. And since you brought up Manny Pacquiao, we just saw that Manny Pacquiao has, what was it, a special what the hell was that Too Rich said? Pacquiao, under the WBC rules and regulations, a champion may request an immediate title shot and be granted one even after being out of the ring for 4+ years. So, I mean, it's a whole bunch of goofy shit going on around here.
Yeah, no, I'm not defending. Sorry, I interrupted earlier. I'm not defending any of this. Again, I don't like it. Boxing's the theater of bullshit. Always has been, but it's the world we live in. So I guess call it out for what it is, for sure. But I just don't. This isn't specific to Turkey Al Sheikh. So it's just I'm trying to not give Teofimo any passes here, like, for all the bullshit he's pulled. Like, he's just throwing a hissy fit over no reason.
No, Fight Sport, and I don't think any of us are trying to give Teofimo a pass, but I do think that it bears mention that what he said holds valid. It's a valid point. He's afraid to go to Saudi because of all the shit that he knows he said to Turkey. And like I said, in that interview, you were on Punch Drunk, as was I just didn't comment. He said in the very beginning, I don't want no smoke for myself or my family. So what does that tell you?
Well,
can I say?
Go ahead, Randy.
I just did a. I'm just getting started in the YouTube world too, but I just did a video and put it up yesterday on or the day it came up, the day yesterday anyway. But about the same subject, we got to realize something about Turkey that we missing. The big picture of it. I don't think Turkey coming in here to take over boxing. These people in these foreign countries like that, they throw around money to entertain themselves. It's not like we're looking at it from a standpoint of a Bob Arum or a Al Heyman and all that. But the truth be told is he's entertained by American boxers, and he have the money to pay for that entertainment. It's almost like these guys are freelance contractors. If you're in the trucking world, they're 1099 contractors where I'm paying you to come over here and entertain me and my people in the country that I'm in. And we're looking at it like, okay, this boxing, we want the best fights, the best fighters fighting the best, this, that, and the other. But he's entertaining himself and the people that are around him. So I think with Teo, if you notice something about Teo, and that's a whole other subject, Teo don't fight black fighters, not top black fighters, because he don't really have that quality to beat them. He would be exposed. He use them for clout. He'll call them out, but he never fight them. He never fight them unless he got a guarantee you win. And but Turkey, they don't want to go over there because Turkey don't really have no skin in the game. You know, you either win or you don't. I'm not favoring neither one of y'all. I just want to see a good fight that's entertaining to me. You're not gonna get that home cooking over there. And I hate to say this because I know I'm gonna end it with this for a second, but I know I might get a lot of backlash. I don't know, but that
Well,
fight,
we waiting to jump on
Davis,
your ass. We just don't want to be rude. We waiting to jump on your ass.
yeah,
Now, go
okay,
ahead.
okay. That fight Tank had with Roach. If he would have had that over there, it might not have been a draw. Tank might have lost that fight because Turkey don't have no skin in the game. It is what it is. You see what I'm saying? He got that draw because he was home. He wouldn't have got that draw over there. That's why he don't want to go over there. The Tank do not want to go. You can't pay him enough money to go over there. Teo
Let
don't
me
want to
ask
go
y'all.
because he probably get exposed over there.
Let him finish.
Go
We're
ahead.
gonna
I'm
get him.
sorry.
Let him finish.
Go ahead. He
No,
good. Go ahead.
no, hold on, Sin. I want to just respond to that really quickly. So when you say that he doesn't have any skin in the game, does that mean when he does have skin in the game, he'll be cheating for them? I.e., February 22nd, where he said that the fight against Shiraz and who was that again? Adames was a draw when we clearly saw that Adames won. Do you mean like that? Or do you mean how on the fast forward to what was that May 2nd card where he did that whole commercial centered around the rematch for Devin and Ryan, and he didn't want to do anything for Rowley, he barely did anything for who was that, Ramirez? Or do you mean when he had the fight with Skull and Canelo and he asked Skull to take a dive? I'm just confused on which one you're talking about.
My thing is this here. My thing is this here, and I'm gonna answer the question. My thing is this here. I think sometimes we as fight fans are a bit biased, and we want to push our biasness when it fits our narrative. But then when it's somebody else biased, we want them to be fair and across the board. Meaning that a lot of channels we watch, a lot of them are pro certain fighters. If you don't like that fighter, they don't like the whole channel is against you. They'll say things about their fighter that they will give them a pass, and a fighter will do the exact same thing that their fighter did. They will bash them. So I can say I look at the fact that he's spending the money. If he's a fight fan, he gonna have some type of bias of his own. You feel what I'm saying? But when he have his bias, we want to criticize him because we call that not keeping it 100. But what about when we're not keeping it 100? He's paying the money to be entertained. So if you had the money to be entertained, I'm pretty sure not you personally, and don't get me wrong, but we would still be biased to the point, and we would want people to respect our biasness. We wouldn't want to be called out on our biasness.
No, you
When I
have
say
to
he
call
don't
out
have any skin,
biases.
and when I say he don't have any skin in the game, it ain't like he's bringing a fighter over to build that fighter up. Whoever a fighter, a handler, and I'm just using Tank because he's and known for no apparent reason, but because everybody knows him. But when you building Tank up, you gonna make sure Tank get the best. He gonna win every fight he get in. You gonna try to make sure he win. But when somebody else does that, it's a problem. Oh, you cherry picking his fighters. Oh, you giving them soft touches. This, that, and the third. But when it's your fighter, you don't see it the same way. And I try to keep it. Maybe that's why my child ain't growing, but I try to keep it 100. If I like a fighter, okay, I like him. But if he doing some BS, I'm gonna call him out on that BS because I'm a fan of the fight. I'm a fan of boxing before I'm a fan of a fight. I've been watching boxing over 40 years. Fighters come and fighters go. So I can't invest my feelings and emotions in a fighter that's gonna leave because I love the game. So if I said about my fighter, I'm gonna say the same thing about your fighter. I'm not gonna. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
but see, that's called balance. That's not a bias that you describe. That's called balance. You know what I'm saying?
that's
If you can
how is it
call out
balanced when
both,
you? But how is it balanced when you taking up for your fighter and your fighter doing the very same thing my fighter is doing, but you're not calling your fighter out on what you calling my fighter out on?
you just said you call out both. That's called balance.
Yeah, I call out both because I don't have a, I don't want to sell my integrity to somebody that don't even know me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if me and Dub, I'm gonna fight for Dub because the Dub my friend. I'm gonna fight for him the best I can. You feel what I'm saying? But why would I fight for Errol Spence when I just like him performing for me in the ring? You feel what I'm saying? If he doing jacked up stuff, I'm gonna call him out on it. I'm not gonna just talk about Crawford if I like the Earl better than I like Crawford. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know, and maybe because I'm older, I just feel like my integrity is worth more than selling it for likes on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, I got to be who I am regardless if I'm on here or talking to my friends in the street.
Yeah, Randy, we're definitely gonna circle back. What's up, KO?
What's that?
I hate turkey.
What's
Okay.
happening? What's happening, Jab Queen? The right side, 2 cents. What's up with everybody on the panel? How y'all doing,
What
man?
up, K? Doing good,
All
KO.
right,
What's up?
yeah.
Chilling, chilling. Hey, Jab Queen, keep pushing, man. Keep I like the live. You got some good people in here. You got the panel
Thank
lit.
you.
Keep pushing, man. For real. I had to finally able to pull up. Just on what the homie was talking about. I'll be quick. I'm sure a lot of people on here know where I stand with this, but Turkey clearly it's different when you got a bias and you're giving your opinion, but when you got a bias and you had a power to move things in your favor because you own a huge publication, so you can make
Facts.
you can make reporters report stuff that you want reported because you own Ring Magazine. When you got a bias and that bias is able to allow you to make it to where the WBA isn't even recognized in box rec anymore. When you have a bias and you have the power to put on fights because you got a public, you're the only promoter, pseudo promoter, since people don't like to say he's a promoter, but he's the only person putting on fights in boxing that's backed by a government fund. Like the only one. Al Heyman got to go get his money privately. So does Bob Arum. So does Eddie Hearn. All these other promoters, they all got to go get their money out the mud and get their money themselves based on their business acumen and what they can do. He gets his money from the Saudi Arabian government, one of the richest governments in the world. So this idea that he's not acting on their behest and he's not doing what they want him to do in order to further their agenda, to me, that's just a tad bit naive, bro. At the end of the day, he is in a position of that he's in because he believed just like the person that's giving him that money to believe, and that's that Prince Amin Habib, whatever his name is, the dictator over there. So he's clearly acting on their behalf, and you can see it. That's why he wants our American fighters to come to Saudi Arabia and be basically circus monkeys, for lack of a better word. He wants to bottom out the American market, which is why he don't care about making money over here. He'll pay 2 American fighters more money to fight in Saudi Arabia than he'll pay them to fight in their own American market where their fans can actually go to the fight. They can actually enjoy the fight and be able to generate money for the sport of boxing. So his agenda is clear, bro. As far as like the whole bias and favorite fighter, talking about your favorite fighter, if your favorite fighter does one thing, then you're gonna be okay with it, and if another fighter does, you're not gonna be okay with it. There are some people like that. I would just encourage us all to visit the channels and support the channels and deal with the commentators that can have their favorite fighter, but also keep it real at the same time. There's a lot of us out there that deserve our support. We're on one of their platforms right now, so make sure y'all subscribe to our channel and give it that support. So for me, bro, everyone has biases, dog. Like this idea that no one's operating without biases, that's that's just not true. Whether it be boxing, football, basketball, whatever it is, we all gonna have our favorite fighter, favorite teams, or whatever that we gonna like more than others. I think the main thing that causes the problem is when your bias is backed with a whole lot of power, and that's the problem that I have with Turkey. His biasness towards fighters that support him or fighters that sign the Riyadh seasonal ring ambassadorships, his biasness towards them has him stepping on the backs and stepping on the neck of other fighters. For instance, he's big up in Hamza Shiraz, who never, and I'll land the plane here because I know I'm being long-winded, but he's big up in Hamza Shiraz and Edgar Berlanga and putting them on the main event and helping their market value while using Shakur Stevenson as basically, for lack of a better word, some sort of slave worker or something to do all the selling of the fight, to be the person to make people want to tune into the fight, and then he doesn't get to reap any of the benefits because he's on the goddamn undercard, bro. Meanwhile, Hamza Shiraz, who never fought in America, he's going to be on the main event, and Edgar Berlanga coming off of the undercard of Ammo Williams, who casual fans don't know. I'm sure as diehard fans know who Ammo Williams is, but Berlanga coming off his undercard is also going to be on the main event. So when they go back to negotiate their next fight, whatever those ticket sales are, whatever that live gate does, however many people watch that fight, they're going to be able to go into the room and say, hey, look at the numbers I did. Look at how much you need to pay me this much money. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson, everybody wants to see him fight Williams Zepeda. He goes into a negotiation room, and I'm not a Shakur fan, but this is just the fact. He goes to the negotiation room after this card as a free agent. They're gonna be looking at him like, man, don't come to me with how many people watched that. That was Shiraz's card. Don't come to me with how many people were in attendance. That was Berlanga card. So when you moving like that and you taking our American fighters and treating them like that, bro, I can't rock with you. And I know he got a clear agenda against American boxing in general. So I'll never like Turkey. That's why my name on this panel every time I come is gonna be KO. I hate Turkey. And that's all I got.
Can I
We
push back on one
appreciate
thing?
you. Oh God, go ahead. He
I
don't left.
promise.
Oh no, there you go. Go ahead.
I promise I'm not doing a boxing hacker. Okay, this is just again, Turkey. Okay, don't trust him. Okay, he's a terrible person. He represents a terrible government. But this idea again. Sorry, I don't agree with this idea that fighters can't get a fair shake over there and they've got to be extra concerned about it. I mean, if there was a robbery that was going to happen, I broke this down on my channel many times last year. It's how my channel blew up. They would have robbed Usyk against Tyson Fury, and they almost did. I mean, that first fight, it's literally impossible to give that fight to Fury, and yet one judge did. The second fight, they could have robbed him if they wanted, but they didn't. They were actually fair, and there was never. I mean, they wanted Tyson Fury to win both fights so badly. The whole world did. So if Usyk can get a fair shake, then Teofimo. I mean, yeah, again, it's down to it's all on him for saying that dictator comment, and again, it wasn't justified, but he painted a bullseye on his back, but he still would have got a fair shake, I think. And also, again, if there was ever a time that somebody had to be concerned about politicians coming after them, then back in 2018, Usyk, and I'm not going to make this about politics, I swear, Usyk went to fight Murat Gassiev in his hometown, and I don't want to ruin any algorithm here, but that was 2018. If there was ever a time that a government may have wanted a fighter to lose, they would have wanted Usyk to lose to Gassiev, and they were 100% fair. So, Teo, I mean, sorry, KO, I disagree with you about Turkey having something against American fighters. He's against whatever. He wants the big stars to win. Like all promoters, like I know you guys are probably going to hate me for this, but Devin Haney got a fair shake against Lomachenko when pretty much all of his fans expected Haney to get robbed. So it's I don't think, again, Turkey, horrible man, horrible person, represents a horrible dictatorship, but I don't think this corruption is anything unique. I mean, yeah, Shiraz got a robbery win against Adames, but plenty of robberies happen all the time.
Okay. Can I respond, or are we going to somebody else? I'm not about to. I don't want to run the
I
panel.
want to ask one question to the entire panel that
No,
relative to the same thing.
hold on. Let KO respond, and then we can get to your questions thing, because I actually want to respond to Fight Sports as well. But go ahead, KO.
No, all right. So just real quick, a couple of things. The fact that you don't think Usyk should have even had Fury get a judge's scorecard on that first card kind of goes against everything you said, because in the first fight, if Usyk beat him so clearly and they still found a way to have a judge in Fury's pocket to score the fight for him, then that kind of argues against your own point. The other thing I would say to you is bringing up Devin Haney versus Lomachenko when Turkey Al-Sheikh had nothing to do with that fight.
That's what I was gonna
I
say.
didn't know where that was coming from. At the end of the day, yes, robbery does happen in boxing, but it's not so blatant to where somebody is getting up and telling the fighter in between the fight how much they're down or how many more rounds they need, like Turkey did in the Carlos Adames Hamza Shiraz fight. And then you also don't have a lot of promoters making blatant mistakes on purpose of having people main event and be on undercards when they're not supposed to be main event and being on undercard. Not a single promoter would look at the card of Edgar Berlanga, Hamza Shiraz, Shakur Stevenson, William Zepeda, see that fight in New York City and have Shakur on the undercard. No one would do that but Turkey, bro. He's making blatant mistakes and doing blatant things to try to undermine American fighters. He was trying to make Devin Haney versus Teofimo and Timalifu versus Jerron Boots Ennis in Saudi Arabia. There isn't another promoter in boxing that would do that. Anyone else making those fights would have them placed in America where they belong, bro. He has a clear agenda, and the fact that he's doing all of this with power, bro, he has the power because of the money that he's spending. He's just not good, bro. I can't wait till he be gone. I'm glad that his ass is on the way out of here, and that's all I got. I'm not finna debate. If you want to debate, you know
Yeah,
what's behind me, bro.
yeah. About to say fight sports. You know what to do if you want to debate KO. But go ahead, Sin. And then two, Rich. I see you fixed your raggedy Wi-Fi. Welcome back. Go ahead, Sin.
Nah, I just wanted to ask everybody. I feel like KO really kind of put the nail in the coffin with because he made a much stronger point with many of examples. But I was just going to ask everybody when Turkey says things like a heavyweight American boxing is better with a black champion. Is that not is that indicative of does that make you feel like he's a fair promoter, or is that statement not indicative of some biasness that could occur, and would other people of other ethnicities, even yourselves, would y'all go fight with the guy who has that power but then has that type of favoritism towards a particular way that they see boxing? Do you think that's safe to say that everybody over there is going to get a fair shake?
Well, I think everybody can get a fair shake, whether they will or not. It's again, Carlos Adames got blatantly robbed. But yeah, I
But do
think
you think that statement alone, does that not does that not indicate more biasness than fairness? Yes or no?
yes, but the same goes for
Okay.
all.
I
I know.
mean,
Well,
how does everybody else feel? Can anybody else agree with
well,
that? Is that more indicative of biasness?
I don't want us to seem like we're ganging up on Fight Sports, so we'll go ahead and make this the
No,
last round of this conversation, so we can get back to what really matters.
for
Keyshawn and
sure.
I've discussed it with him, but I will say this: Fight Sport. I get what you're saying, that all promoters do certain things to make sure that the guy that they want to win kind of has the best advantage to win. It doesn't make it right? And the fact that Turkey Al-Sheikh does this very blatantly is a little alarming because he does it without any fear of repercussions, right?
Mm.
And so even with like him putting on the fights in Saudi and offering to pay the guys more, well, he can do that because in Saudi Arabia, he's the man, right? He basically doesn't have to pay for any venues. You know what I mean? He can cut through all the red tape that he may have to go through in America, i.e., what little logistical issues he went through when he put on the fight in New York. And then he doesn't have to adhere to any of our rules over there, right? Like respecting women, which is why he couldn't put the Bud Crawford and Canelo fight on Netflix, because he went into that office and he disrespected the woman that was conducting the meeting. So it's just a couple of things that that make me uneasy about him, not to mention all the things that I have read about him. So I think that's probably why I'm a little anti-Turkey. Now, if he is in fact paying these guys the money that he says, which a lot of them have come out and said that they're not getting the payment that they said that he was going to give them. You saw what happened with him and Shakur. You saw what happened with Rolly. You see what's going on with Teofimo. So I just feel like it's a little bit disingenuous to kind of overlook some of the things that he does and say, well, everybody does it, because no, everybody doesn't do it, at least not this way.
Well, just to, sorry, I'll just make one quick statement. I mean, yes, Sin, I was just going to add some context and say, yeah, Adama's got blatantly robbed, and yeah, they're both Muslim, so he had an interest in there, but again, it happens with all promoters. Ty, I completely understand what you're saying, that it's that because of the amount of power he has in Saudi, it's extra alarming. But again, I understand I've got the opposing view on the panel, but I just, because these things have happened before in boxing, and again, I mentioned the Usyk Fury example earlier. Fighters should definitely be concerned. I'm not saying people should trust him at all, but I just don't think that there's enough evidence that you're guaranteed to get robbed unless you're Turkey's favourite. But again, I understand people disagree with me.
Somebody
Hey,
needs to mute
I
the mic. I don't know what's
hey, hold
going
on.
on with
Let me
that.
jump in
Hold
here,
on,
Dad.
let Too Rich say what he got to say, then you can go back, Randy. Go ahead, Too Rich.
Let me say that y'all tripping, man. Y'all tripping. We saw the most egregious thing happen in boxing in the last 10 years, and it happened on American soil. If that knee happened by Shiraz in freaking Saudi Arabia, y'all would be going crazy. So this idea of being cheated is boxing. It happened everywhere. On my channel, I got a short of Mike Tyson talking about how some of his fights, the judges, everything was already fixed. If it should go wrong, everybody was in place to make it go right. It's boxing. And I don't care if you're on this side of the pond or that side of the pond. Some things gonna be political, some things gonna happen. But for T.O. to use all I'm worried about, he wanted to fight Deron Boots Ennis. Turkey would have was paying for the fight. He wasn't worried with Deron. Why he wasn't worried with Deron, but worried with Devin Haney? The truth is, a loss to Devin Haney devalued. Whoever loses that fight gets devalued. If he fights Boots and lose, he gets revalued because of the stature of the fight. So it was a business decision. He know if he lose that fight, he take that risk and he lose, he's going to get devalued. So if you fight a Boots or somebody bigger than what you're supposed to, your value will go up or at least get set around the same place. So it's just business. But this Turkey robbed me thing. Come on, we saw that. Should Lamont Roach be worried about the rematch? Should he be worried about he need 2 knockdowns and the fighter telling him in the ring, I know you that they ain't gonna give it to you? Come on now, this boxing, man. It's a dirty game.
I don't really think that's a parallel example. It's a nice reach, but it's not a parallel example. We're talking about a man who has a whole country behind him financially, who has the power to make you disappear, so to speak. So for Teofimo to be worried about that, I think he absolutely has a right to be worried. Now, I will say this: Teofimo is full of shit. Devin Haney, Bill Haney are full of shit. So who's right in this situation? I have no goddamn idea. But let's not act like he does not have a reason to be concerned. After him poking the bear, don't mess with the lion, all of that shit. Let's not act like he doesn't have a reason to fear going over there.
Well, you remember Shakur had his little riff with Turkey, right? Didn't Shakur still go over there and fight?
The riff with Turkey came after that fight, did it not?
No, it came before. Oh, did it come? It might. Now you might be right. You might be right. That is
to Richard. To Rich, that came out after the Padley fight. It was when the Zepeda fight was being talked about.
I wonder if
Hey, I gotta make moves, y'all. Peace and love to the chat. I'm saying I gotta make moves. I just wanted to, go ahead and say give my farewell to everybody. I appreciate the conversation and the time.
Appreciate you stopping by. I'm getting ready to
Y'all be
wrap it up
safe.
soon. We gotta get ready for this fight card. So everybody go ahead and get your final predictions.
I'll go ahead and go first since I've been.
And go ahead your final statements. Go ahead.
Well, my final statement is I think we're still trying to treat Turkey as if he's one of us. Turkey is entertaining him and his buddies, and he's allowing us to look in as he entertains. We would have a big problem with Turkey if Turkey took our fighters, took them over there, and not televise it. We wouldn't get a chance to watch the fight, and we would have a big problem with Turkey. I know Turkey say he can make people disappear, whatever. So can promoters stop fighters from fighting. Promoters can ruin fighters' career, tie them up, and look at Andre Ward. They could tie him up, but at the same time, we got to remember Turkey is entertaining himself. We're he's allowing us to look in. Those fighters are independent contractors. Like I said, I'm in the trucking business. So if I call a broker and it's low posted on the board and it's low ball, somebody will take it. Somebody will take it. I can't be mad at somebody that take a load that I wouldn't dare take because they're not paying any money and say, man, you shouldn't have took that load. And then I can't be mad if I take a load that's posted at a high rate and don't get paid, because sometimes we don't get paid. We have to fight to get our money. So that's part of business. So if you don't get paid by Turkey, you need to make sure your ducks are in a row that you can get paid, so you won't have that story to tell by saying, look here, if you're gonna pay me half of my money, or pay me what I think, that even if I don't get the rest of it, that's satisfaction money for me to fight this fight, even if I don't get the rest of it. So if you're in the business, you got to do smart business. But we can't keep comparing Turkey to us. We're looking at him to do the same thing our promoters would do. But that's my last final words, and I'm ready for the fights tonight, and I'm gonna listen to everybody else, and I go when everybody else go.
You ain't give your final predictions, babe. You gotta give your final predictions, Randy. Who do you see winning on that card? We know that Keyshawn is not on there anymore. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I like Abdullah Mason in this, and I like the two Keyshawn two brothers. And the reason why is because me and Mike talked about this earlier, and of course we know Abdullah Mason probably gonna pull it off because he's prepared and ready. But Mike made a very interesting point to me earlier. He said like when they got Keyshawn, they actually got 3 for 1. They got Keyshawn, long as Keyshawn the star, and they keep feeding his brother cupcakes. They always got somebody on the undercard. So I'm expecting his brothers to win anyway, without even knowing who they're gonna fight, because Keyshawn would have been the star and all of them would have won. So I got Keyshawn brothers and Abdullah Mason.
Okay. All right, Too Rich. What's your final thoughts, babe? Who you got winning the fight? Too Rich. Okay. Fight Sport.
Yeah, I think
I'm here. I had it on mute. Hey, I got Mason. I got Mason winning. 30% chance again upset, but he should win. He need to not throw that uppercut from too far out. Close the gap a little bit more, but he should win. I'm picking. I don't know which brother. One of them gonna get upset. The head has been chopped off. One of those brothers gonna take it harder than the other. So I don't know which one it's gonna be. So I'm looking for an upset from one of the brothers. You know, to get upset. And that's all I got, man. Appreciate you letting me come up.
Of course, you know that. I kind of agree. I got a sneaky feeling. I don't know how Albright gonna fare, but I got a sneaky suspicion it might be a little bit of an upset too. These cherries are not willing to be picked anymore. I don't know if these niggas got the memo, but it don't look like these cherries is looking like they want to get picked no more. Resendez ain't come to lay down, baby. So I don't know what's going on. But go ahead, Fight Sport. What you got? Final thoughts, babe. I'm getting ready to shut it down and get ready for these fights.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Abdullah Mason wins, but I do think Nakatila is. I expect Mason's gonna at least get hurt, if not dropped in this fight, because I don't know if his defense is going to be much better than his last fight. And Nakatila's he's not a bad prospect or fighter, whatever you want to say. He just got outboxed by Stevenson, no shame. I don't know
if you didn't have to do that, Fight Sport.
What?
Go ahead. You
what?
Have to say that,
no. What did I say? What did I say?
You said you just got outboxed for Stevenson, but never mind. I just thought that was funny. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about cutting y'all out. Do y'all have y'all channels in the chat so I can subscribe to them? I know I'm gonna subscribe to yours, but I'm just talking about the other people that was on the panel.
I don't know if they stepped away, but Fight Sport, you can pin your channel, babe. And anybody else in the chat with the channel, if you guys want to pin it so Randy could sub up to everybody, go ahead.
Randy, could you drop the link for your channel as well? I'll subscribe to you.
Yes, of course.
But yeah, okay. I think Albright. I don't know if he beats Kelvin Davis, but it's definitely going to go the distance because Albright. He gave Keyshawn a tough fight. Like that's the one time Keyshawn's actually been in a fight. So I don't know anything really about Naeem Parker and Derek Davis. So I'm just going to talk about those two fights. Thanks for having me on, Ty. And by the way, the last time we chatted, you kind of clowned me on Two Senses show, saying, "Oh, he's emotional."
No, I
Sorry
said you
for
were upset. Let me tell you something. And you must have came late because I was messing with you again. I was looking for you in the chat. I said Loma finally fully into the witness protection program, and I was looking for your response. So you must have came late. But
I
no, you
did.
know how we do. You know how we do
I
fights. But
know.
I jab at
Well,
you, you jab at me. It's all good, baby.
yeah, Ty. I sorry. I took that personal because I get a
I
lot of
know you
trolls.
got a love
But
affair
I
with
appreciate.
Loma. I know.
Hey, all right. Look, it's all water under the bridge, sweetheart. We can jab it out. We can jab it out later, okay? But appreciate you
Okay.
having me
Have
on,
a good
and
night and enjoy the fights. All right.
thanks, guys. And Randy, I'll subscribe to
Okay.
your channel. Peace, y'all.
Okay, definitely. I'm trying to put it in now. I'm kind of new to this.
Yeah, don't worry. It took me a minute too. I'm still getting used to how to figure out some of this stuff, but it's a learning curve. We'll get it. No worries. Fight sport.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
see you, babe.
All right, guys.
Dub Right
Peace.
Side. I
Okay.
Thanks,
just
Ty.
want to say peace. I just want to say Dub Right Side came to my channel this morning. We made video this morning. I haven't posted it yet, but he was telling me that he was going over to your channel, and that's how I end up.
Mhm. Oh, okay. Well,
So,
salute
and
to
I'm
my
glad.
brother.
I'm
I don't
glad
know
I
where
did.
the hell his ass went. He probably went back into the witness protection program because I don't know where he disappeared to. I texted him and asked him where his butt went, but he probably, they'll be moving and shaking. Everybody's probably getting ready for the fight, so I'll go ahead and shut down the Carter. But I do want to
Yeah,
say
yeah.
thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate this. Listen, we're gonna be back tomorrow 2 p.m. I want y'all to come back, tell me how y'all felt about the fights. Let me know what happened. Okay. And we will continue this conversation. Until then, y'all know what to do. Catch me on a panel.
Fight.